Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 212. It is August 9th. We'll be releasing this on August 10th, which is Saturday. We're back down in the basement to talk about another week of wrestling. As you've set up Seth Rollins to curb stomp. Who is that?
Knack.
Huh?
Knack.
Nakamura? Not very nice. Sorry, if you're watching on video, you can see he set stuff up. If not, we're going to talk about another week of wrestling. We got to circle back around to SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
Because that happened. We'll talk about AEW Dynamite. We'll talk about NXT. We'll talk about Monday Night Raw. We will not talk about TNA. I did not get around to it this week, so
Sorry.
we'll talk.
We apologize.
Yeah, well, I'm sure most of the people are here to hear TNA, right? Probably.
That's what most people do. Statistically, yeah, you need to look at our stats. And
Everyone loves TNA, right? So there's timestamps if you want to jump ahead to anything, because usually we banter about whatever for a couple minutes before that. So I just got back from your brother's basketball game. This is the house league, so like not his rep league. So he scored 38 points in this one that he's playing just for fun. They won by 50 something again. So it's a bit of a problem, but whatever, he had fun. And then we are preparing I'm preparing, not so much you. You're looking to avoid it, I think.
Oh, I will successfully.
The party of the century tomorrow. So we're going to have in our backyard pool setting 40-ish, somewhere between 40 and 50 people, I think. So
Not
11.
only would I not want to do that at someone else's house, I definitely wouldn't want to
You're
do it at
lucky
my
you
own
work,
house.
so
that is the fortunate part of this.
You're on cat monitor to make sure she doesn't get out.
For a bit, yeah.
So 11 players plus their families. So of varying amounts, right?
I know what you're all thinking. Why? I don't know.
I don't know either. So I'm looking to survive tomorrow. We did a big backyard cleanup today. I got the power washer out.
You know, it's a good party when you're trying to survive it.
Broke my back moving a very heavy basketball hoop over to the pool, and then power wash things and put everything back.
I didn't even know we had a power washer, so that was news to me.
And we do have a power washer. It doesn't get used often. Like
I literally, how long have we had that?
like 5 years at least.
I had zero clue it existed ever.
It gets used like once a year, pretty much.
Even I legitimately, I've never seen it before.
It's actually fun. Your brother had a good time hosing. Or
I know they work, because there's literally a game that's Power Wash Simulator.
Well, there's the deck box in the corner, the old one that was like filthy.
Oh, the white one.
Yeah.
The white one.
So I power washed that. You should see it now.
Is it
it's
like,
very satisfying. Just peels the dirt right off.
Actually white?
It's the way it's whatever color it's supposed to be.
Or like okay,
yeah.
It's actually like distinguishable.
And so you're rocking a new Seth Rollins that I found. I've been out looking for pool
Sans
salt.
belt.
Yeah, so
Which is fine.
Somebody bought it, took the belt, and then returned it, obviously, because you said there was a receipt behind it. But
yeah, I honestly don't have much use for the WWE belt. So as much as I like to have it, it's whatever.
I'd rather have it already?
No.
Oh, wow.
But I was just like, it's a Seth Rollins, so I'm just gonna take it.
And then you were just upstairs building some Lego. I saw on the phone, the doorbell cam, you came home with a bag of something.
Yeah, I went because I saw them earlier when we went to Walmart. And I was just like, I was bored, so I was like, I'm gonna go buy a Lego, because I saw because I got paid yesterday. I don't think either mom didn't take the cut she usually does for savings, or
you worked more than you thought.
Yeah, either or. So I was like, I'm just gonna go buy Lego. That's not a good sign when I have the means and
disposable
the
income.
Yeah,
it's not. You're not good with that.
Yeah. So then I did that, and then I also took out cash to put in my stash.
You've got a secret stash of cash for
a lightsaber.
What is that one called?
Fan Expo.
Fan Expo. I can never remember
for the big Kahuna this time. The goal is a Darth Maul.
All right, great to have goals. And again, folks, he saves his money all year to spend it on these ridiculous things. It's his money.
I'm not spoiled. I'm just stupid.
That may be a bit of both, frankly.
I'm mostly stupid, but I don't even think I'm capable of wielding a saber staff, like a double saber. But
you can learn.
Again, stupid.
And video people, you can see fresh haircut.
If you're not on video, then just know it's not a buzz cut.
No, it's not a buzz cut.
You can rest easy.
You and your brother both went today and got trimmed, and I got booster juice without you.
Yeah, I honestly did think about getting a booster juice when I went out too, and then I just think I forgot.
The watermelon explosion, the one you're rocking lately.
That might be my favorite, just like period. It's not always, it's seasonal, but like
I'm in between Strawberry Storm and Acai Avalanche, both delicious.
I like Funky Monkey still.
Switch it up. Protein packed in my old age. Got to get that protein, But anyways, I don't know. We should probably get to talking about wrestling, because I'm not looking to be up until 1 a.m. this morning. So, or tomorrow morning, technically, I guess. So let's shift gears. Let's talk about wrestling.
Or
first.
This morning when it's out.
Whatever. Anyways, we're going to move into our first segment. We're going to talk about some wrestling news and rumors. pretty terrible week for news, I found.
Very lackluster.
So I always have ratings to fall back on. So NXT this week, 534,000 viewers, up 14.1% from last week. 0.16 in the key demographic, up 0.67. So yes, up from last week, but those are still pretty low numbers because it's up against
Olympics.
Correct. It is still the Olympics, should be wrapping up shortly. Canada got gold in the 4x100. Shout out to them.
I don't know what that is.
I think I saw that. Like four guys running 100 meters each and handing off the baton. I don't think we were a favorite in that. I could be wrong. I'm not really up on it. Dynamite, 622,000 viewers, up 2.1%. 0.19 in the key demo, up 5.6. Same thing as NXT, up from last week, but these are not good numbers overall. But again, same thing, up against the Olympics.
They're still on sci-fi, right? For this week?
I believe so, yes, until Olympics are done. I think that's the move.
I know Bash was for sure, which this is the second week.
Yes, that's correct, which we'll talk about. Not as strong as last week. Liked it last week a lot. This week,
opener is pleasant.
Yeah, that's true. What do you have for news? I have three.
The only main thing of the week is that Lucha Bros are reportedly set to be done soon and expected to head to WWE. And to add on to that, I saw Phoenix canceled an indie booking in September.
So they're going to get mired in obscurity in WWE.
I am so afraid.
We talked about it.
I'm horribly
See Dragon
afraid.
Lee, right? As to
literally. Well, yeah, because it was so funny. We were talking about it, like, and you're like, "Oh, he's a SmackDown guy," so I don't see him. I'm like, "No, he's on Raw."
And I still don't see him. Like for 5-6 weeks.
The last thing I remember he did is I think him and Ray teamed with Braun in multi-man tag against Judgment Day, and that was the match where Cole thought Ray was Dragon Lee.
And nice. Lucha Brothers style also is not lend itself to WWE.
Well, Penta,
they're going to have to dial it back.
I fear Penta loses his cool factor, and then Phoenix gets dulled down like Ricochet did.
Yes.
And then we're left with...
I don't think it's a good... I mean, if they're getting big money, that's fine. And
I feel like they're getting decent... They're probably getting paid decent in AEW. I mean, maybe not as much if they're jumping ship.
And the contracts won't be super long, so they can go back at some point if they want to, I assume,
guess.
right?
It'll just suck because like they've been there the whole time and it'll be weird. And now Death Rhombus is dead.
That's right. Well, unless they come back.
Well, for now it's dead.
Yes.
Because like... And because we knew we were this close and it was about to happen. I guarantee it was about to happen, but the only reason it's not happening is because they're leaving. And don't let anyone say that's the only reason it's not happening.
Could be. What do I have here? FNS Darlings, the Grizzled Young Veterans, have been added to the New Japan Capital Collision card.
I saw they had a match. I forget what it was. Like I remember seeing the graphic, but I think I just kind of scrolled by.
I saw no opponents when I pulled this story. There were no opponents.
Oh, I thought I
yet.
saw them on the Multiman thing. Hold on.
But good for them. They're cool. So I would love to see them keep working in visible companies. So that's good for them. I don't know how long they're there.
New Japan Global.
So while you're looking...
I swear. Aha. So it's them against Ishii and Tanahashi and Robbie Eagles and Bad Dude Tito. It's a 3-way tag for contendership of the
Bad Dude.
For the strong titles.
Cool.
I feel like they have to win that because...
Maybe.
I mean,
I'm not up on
Ishii and Tanahashi can't be a team.
No.
And then
Tanahashi can't really do much.
Tito and Eagles are. I know Tito's in TMDK. I want to say Eagles is too.
I know Tito is, yeah.
Yeah, he is. So yeah, it's TMDK representation, I guess. Which is odd because I'm pretty sure last I checked the tag champs are TMDK, like TM61.
Mm-hmm.
So
the original?
Yeah, the original.
Nice.
So that's neat, I guess.
Good for them. What do you got?
The only other thing I have was I thought it was funny. I was looking on Shop AEW because there's that really cool pink Darby hoodie that I want to order.
Yes.
And they had MJF's US flag for sale. Like you can just buy like a big flag against
with his face as the stars.
Yeah, it was like the exact one that's on TV. So I think that's pretty funny. I was hoping that'd be like because they sell beach towels. Like I have the Bucks dollar bill one.
Yeah, you do.
I thought it'd be really funny if they had MJF's flag as a towel. Like I would get that. You know what I mean? Because I think it'd be.
I'm sure AEW executives listen and will make that happen.
I think they should. That's like an easy cash grab right there. Just because like, I just think it'd be funny to have especially like. If people don't notice either, then I just have like a US flag towel. Like that'd
be weird in itself.
That's
America.
That's what I like though. That's what I live for with wrestling merch.
So it's more ratings, but it's because it's kind of funny. So Collision, they moved to the afternoon because they didn't want to go up against SummerSlam.
I saw.
Did you see the ratings?
Bad or good?
Bad.
Really?
189,000.
Oh wow.
0.08.
Oof.
And was still up against Olympics. So like
I guess that's kind of your excuse.
I think that's like considerably lower than Rampage gets. But
Yeesh.
anyways, did you have anything else?
No.
Only other thing, nervous because Jacob Fatu was spotted in a walking boot after SummerSlam because I think he legit hurt himself.
Yeah, because he's a mad lad.
And the way that he was, how angry he was, I've seen so many pro athletes when they get hurt, they're like, that's how mad they are. When they know they're like hurt, you know what I mean? Not just like...
I hope not, because he's the only one I care about.
Because it was a dive off the top right onto Cody, and he smashed his shin off the
I hope
table.
not, because he's the only one I care about.
He is
really.
awesome.
The only other thing is Camacho really makes me chuckle because
everything he does is terrible.
He just messes up.
He does. He definitely does.
So funny.
So I guess we can move into talking about actual wrestling. We'll go back to a week ago and talk about the latest PLE offering for WWE that happened to be SummerSlam. All right, sir. So let's go back in time a week and talk about SummerSlam 2024. So I don't know why it caught me off guard. I thought the stadium looked humongous. I guess I'm not used to seeing. It did.
There was also on the side with the hard cam, though, there was lots of areas tarped off.
There was a few empty sections, yes.
Not sold out.
And to summarize the beginning, we got Jelly Roll and then The Miz because he was hosting, so I was not impressed with the start. Not that
Miz is from there.
Jelly Roll wasn't terrible, and we'll see him again doing a little bit of a bit, and I thought for like a celebrity, he was fine in his role. But anyways.
I have no thoughts. I just don't know who he is, and I don't care.
We don't watch this live, so we skip a lot of the stuff that's meaningless. So
yeah, the second I found out there was a concert thing at the beginning, I was like, no.
So we start out opening matches, Rhea Ripley challenging Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's World Championship. My first note says that you objected to Cole referring to Dom as Rhea's boy toy. You didn't like that.
That was
choice
weird.
of word.
That was just weird. I don't think Michael Cole should be using that terminology.
And you pointed out to me, I don't know where you got that from. Maybe they said it, that this was Sami Zayn's first SummerSlam. Not that
I just saw someone
match,
post about it. Yeah, like this was his first SummerSlam, which is crazy because he's been there since he's been main roster since 2016.
And the innovation, although they're reaching back to do innovation, was
the ref cam,
which you loved.
It's like this camera.
You were done from the first view.
It was so dumb. Like there's really,
bad.
It's just, it can't possibly serve a good enough purpose.
And the resolution's not good, and it's not steady.
Yeah, the only other match I remember them doing it for was Rollins.
You're going from these crisp, super high production value stuff to like
a shitty GoPro
strapped to a guy's head. Yeah,
I don't think anyone was really asking for that innovation either. So
McAfee goes on some little rant about dude wipes and people looking like used dude wipes, which I thought, and you could tell that I think it was Cole was like wanting to get away from this.
I don't understand how people actually enjoy McAfee. I don't understand.
He's trouble. So this one starts out, Rhea's in control early with her power until she runs herself into the corner shoulder first. Liv attacks her in the corner. Rhea's saying that her shoulder's out. So this is a thing, her shoulder's out, and she pops it back in a couple times along the way, I think, here. Liv attacks her with a nice boot as Ripley talks to Dom on the floor. And then Rhea falls into the steps, which I thought it looked pretty good. Liv is then, as she should, targeting the shoulder. And at this point, they go to ref cam, and you just start laughing as anytime they cut to the ref cam.
It's so, again, we've already discussed it. It's just not.
A Rhea boot stops Liv's run. Liv counters a riptide into a DDT for a 2 count. Liv's pulled hard off the ropes and put into a prism trap. We get a nice Liv crucifix driver. That looked good.
That was good. I've seen people replaying that. That was pretty nice.
And then a Juge attempt.
Juge.
Rhea eventually powers out.
Was it this or was it like before? I remember the one week we Googled how to spell it, or I did.
We were talking about how to spell it. Yeah. Yes, and I went phonetically, and then you looked it up for real.
Yeah, but yours made sense though.
It did. Liv introduces a chair. Ripley kicks it away from her. We get a riptide, but Rhea grabs the chair because she's just so mad that this woman tried to steal her man. Instead of going for the pin, she's blinded by rage, grabs a chair. Dominic grabs the chair and takes it from Rhea, telling her, yo, you can't win it this way, which is true. She can't win the title that way, right?
That is champion's advantage, which honestly, I didn't know until they told me, so I'm glad they informed me.
That's right. It's brand new information. So again, Rhea's popping her shoulder back in a couple times along the way here. We get a Liv shotgun drop kick, and that sends Rhea into Dominic. Dom falls off the apron. We get an Oblivion for a pretty great near fall there.
It was a good near fall. I just hate her finisher. I just don't think it's a good move.
It's not great. Crowd
it just lacks the impact of like it's just like Ripley's just falling. You know what I mean? Like there's no Liv does nothing.
Crowd's pretty into this.
Crowd
match
was
at this
really
point.
well into that near fall. I will say like that.
Yes,
that helped
they
a
were.
lot. As much as I don't like the move.
Crowd on Raw this week was crazy.
Well, like good or like
Yeah,
oh,
good.
that's surprising.
Like, well, we'll talk about it. With the Bronson Reed stuff, especially, it was like it was the 80s. And
I
they
saw
thought it was
someone-
real, and they were like screaming like someone was dying.
I saw someone saying, I'm gonna say it now because I'll forget later. But you know how Rollins was wearing like the black pants with like the kind of tassels on the side?
Yeah.
I saw someone say he was dressed like Hangman, which is another person
Funny.
Punk
Yeah.
hates, and like I don't know if that's intentional or not, but in my head
We'd like
I'm
it to
gonna make that like my head canon because
Right.
I think it's pretty funny.
Right. Dom gets up on the apron to distract the ref. Oblivion to Ripley onto a chair behind the ref's
Ripley
back.
took that really well. Again, I don't think it's a good finisher, but I thought Ripley like just took the spot
looked
really
good.
clean and like so. Kudos to her for making that look as good as it can.
And at this point, they've got the plausible deniability, right? That Dom.
Yeah, like you could have written it off there, and we'd have a story still for.
I
Raw.
thought they were. I thought they were going to slow burn it from there. Like, and Rhea's like wondering, did Dom and he's
because
got,
Dom kind of did a similar thing when Liv was winning the title from Becky, right? Like he was accidentally helping Liv win both times.
right. And if this was a perfect example of, we always say like predictable doesn't mean bad.
Yeah,
Like we were pretty sure this is exactly where this was going. I thought it was really well executed.
I agree.
And then I don't even know if I made note of it, but basically Dom and Liv kiss, right, and reveal.
A la Christian and Trish Stratus WrestleMania 20.
Right. So it's revealed that Dom is on Liv's side. Ripley's furious. I quite enjoyed this match.
I thought it was a good opener. Like not the most exciting in ring, but decent in ring and with
And
a good story.
Really good story, really good payoff. So
Finish, I thought was really well done.
it was as well.
Because like you said, they could have had the plausible deniability if they didn't confirm it
And
after.
then they
you know
killed
what I mean?
it immediately.
Which
Yeah.
is fine.
Yeah.
But like
I
I'm
didn't
just saying,
mind
like
that choice.
I do like the finish in that they could have gone either way, kind of.
Yeah. And then it leads to that bigger moment where Dom reveals, I was.
Yeah.
With
so
Liv.
that it works either way for sure.
So I thought nice contrast to styles, no rough patches at all. The build to this was awesome. The drama and the storytelling. Rhea's shoulder was a lot, but it made sense. And
Because she
Liv
was
was
actually injured.
that's
so.
what she was out for, right?
Right.
Rhea sold really well as well. I thought good start to the show, good choice
We
for an
both picked
opener.
it.
The fans got a good match and a strong payoff to a hot angle, right? So I thought that this is sports entertainment done really well. I gave it
Agreed.
3 3/4 stars. And I'm yes, probably the build and the story and the payoff added something, but I can't separate those things. It's all baked in, right?
Yeah,
So
I'll agree with that.
I went 3 3/4. I thought it was a pretty strong
and
match.
We both picked that one. Just-
Then we get Judgment Day backstage. Priest is furious, obviously, about Dom turning on his group. He grabs him and he grabs, I think it's Balor, right? And accuses him of kind of knowing what was happening. And then he's denying it, right? And then the rest leave to find Dom, as Priest says he's going to kill the kid, basically. So thinking that Balor's in on it or knew about it at least, and that will play out,
No,
obviously, later
Balor's
on as
dumb.
well.
He's no mastermind.
We then go to Braun Breaker challenging Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship, right? And this one was not very long. I think it was like
It was
6
not.
minutes or something.
That's what I saw some guy say was that like Sami Zayn's first SummerSlam match is a 5-minute loss to like.
Yeah. So Braun goes for a spear immediately. Sammy moves and Braun posts himself, which seemed to happen a few times on this show with guys running themselves into the post. We already have 2, Rhea and Braun. We're 2 for 2. So Zayn stays in control for a while. Breaker with a stiff leaping clothesline to stop Sammy. He then explodes to the top, does a quick taunt to the crowd, and hits a Frankensteiner. Braun trash talks, tells Sammy to quit, fires Sammy up. Braun escapes a suplex, but lands really awkwardly. I don't remember the details of that, but I'm sure it happened. Middle rope bulldog countered into a blue thunderbomb by Sammy.
Oh no, that was LA9 Logan Paul. I
There's-
was thinking of that brain buster.
The accidental
I
brain
was
buster.
not. I don't know what it is because that's what I'm thinking.
There was a Judy Bagwell endorsed sign in the crowd we got a kick out of. We get Sammy with his exploder into the corner. Haluva kick attempt cut off by a Braun spear. Straps her down. Rope running full speed spear now, and it's over in 6 minutes. Another choice I kind of agree with. It is Braun's time.
Yeah.
I've heard some people say, if you're going to go 6 minutes, you could have gone 1 minute. But, I mean, Sammy got his stuff in, I guess.
I wish it was maybe a little longer. Like, still keep Braun dominant, but just to have a bit more of a match. And also, then I wish they didn't have a match at Money in the Bank because then it begs the question. I don't know. Like, I wish this was just like the first match. You know what I mean? Like, you could build to Sammy having more of a fight in their rematch.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think the loss is going to hurt Sammy a ton. And Breaker, they're booking him as a dominant monster, so why
Makes
not
sense.
have him start out this way, right? Go all in, book him as dominant. That's the logical route to go with the guy. So Sammy got all his signature stuff in, and Braun just exploded and took him out. I thought it was simple, effective. It's weird because I have no problem with the match, but I can't rate it highly because it was 6 minutes.
I think that's kind of why, like, usually those shorter matches don't really get ratings on
it's
Cage
hard.
Match, because it's like...
So I went 2 3/4, which I think is fine.
Yeah, it was like a good sub
6-minute match on a PLE.
Yeah,
but I think it's
hard to quantify it, right? Just 'cause...
right, and I don't disagree with the choice of doing it.
Right, yeah.
So, anyways, they show Stephanie McMahon. I said no thanks. They should. That's family
the inventor of women's wrestling. How dare you?
That's right. That family can just stay invisible as far as I'm concerned.
Shane
at this
McMahon,
point.
AEW.
Hearing far too much about them. Then we move into LA Knight challenging Logan Paul for the U.S. Championship.
Yeah,
By the way, we both took Braun, I assume.
We did.
I think it all comes down to one match, and I didn't win. Anyways,
I wasn't flawless though, and it was because of Punk.
So Logan Paul, the horrible human being that he is greeted by Machine Gun Kelly on the ramp. Sure.
I don't know particularly why, but I hate Machine Gun Kelly. I think I just hate his face. I also don't like his music from what I've heard.
I don't remember.
I think he has a bad movie too. And he doesn't
seem to do well in the wife department though.
Yeah, too well.
I think.
He also doesn't look like the kind of person I would respect.
So what was the deal? LA Knight had stolen Logan Paul's truck.
It's like a Hummer or something, right?
And then he smashed it with a pipe.
One. Yeah.
Before coming into the match.
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't care enough to remember.
So that leads to Logan Paul attacking LA Knight as Knight is making his way to the ring.
Bigger travesty was they smashed the hydration station.
They did. They brawl on the floor, and the hydration station gets taken out.
That was too far.
Paul clears the announce table. Knight rams him into it repeatedly, and then he goes, torture rack into a neck breaker on the announce table, but the table didn't break, so it looked like it hurt both of them.
It looked like a bitch.
So Knight rolls Paul into the ring after that, and the match officially starts. And I said, thank God commentary works so hard to point out when matches have started and when they haven't. Like, they went out of their way to be like, this match hasn't even started, and this is all before the match even starts. And then, like, the match has officially... Like, we're not idiots, guys.
I honestly...
Maybe some of us are.
The ring bell, I'm pretty sure it's doing its job.
But anyways, they worked hard to make that clear.
They did.
So Logan Paul's in control early, including a nice gut wrench suplex.
That was kind of cool the way he went into it. I don't remember what specifically, but I remember being kind of impressed by that.
Which we hate to be impressed by.
I don't like him.
Because he's a trash bag of a human, but a very talented athlete.
Yeah.
A sudden LA Knight power slam shifts the momentum. Side effect, top rope elbow drop by Knight for 2. And that's the one where he hops from the middle to the top rope, right? Commentary were impressed by that as well. Springboard clothesline knocks Knight to the floor as Paul starts to regroup now.
At least he wasn't doing the buckshot again.
No. Big springboard moonsault by Paul to the floor.
That was really cool.
It was
like,
nice.
He came from in the ring and then he like hopped up, turned backwards and did it. It looked like he destroyed his ankles on the landing, but he was fine.
It's pretty graceful, unfortunately.
It's like how, again, I was saying to you, it's a miracle that Hangman hasn't suffered like a similar or worse fate than Adam Cole did, because like the way he jumps, like he deserves to have his ankles shattered. Like his ankles of granite.
He's gonna Sid Vicious himself.
The fact that he hasn't is like, like Dante Martin is out here with his ankle, like his foot hanging off his ankle, and Hangman's just
no problem. BFT attempt, but Paul holds on to the ropes.
I thought that was kind of like just a simple but inventive way to avoid that. Like that should be something for an RKO if you're ever close.
And this is where Knight leaps to the top and hits a scary superplex. Ends up a brainbuster because of like under rotation.
Like, it looked pretty gnarly. Thankfully they were okay.
Yeah, could have been bad.
Unintentionally looked kind of sick.
It did. Paul eye gouge now stops LA Knight. Who's Jeff? My note says
he's appeared before. I know that. I just don't care.
Right. We don't care to follow up on it.
The fact that he's not also DLC in 2K is surprising, considering the fact we got Pat McAfee's goons.
And so Knight pulls one of them over the barricade and
a couple of them, and he
just
started just kicking them or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't look super.
Logan Paul now has brass knuckles, which apparently are made of marshmallow because he hits. Remember, he goes for a suplex. Knight hits him with it.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing.
It was, he got hit with it and then BFT anyways.
So Buckshot countered.
Skull of granite.
Buckshot countered into the BFT, and Knight wins after 12 minutes. We both picked this as well, I assume. Pretty good match, I thought.
Took them long enough to get Knight a belt, but
again, unfortunately, Logan Paul showing how athletic he is and how quickly he's picking up this craft. I know.
Good.
Hate to say it.
Like if they actually sign him, there's a very decent chance he would get the top title.
I know.
And be like a Brock Lesnar kind of champion, just absentee. And Like, because I mean, look what they already did with this belt. Like, he held it forever, and he only defended 3 times. This is one of them.
As long as you never make him a babyface. Like, we've tried.
That's
we
true.
learned.
Yeah, just
we
don't
learned
make him
from
a
that.
babyface, and I'll find it somewhat acceptable because he is talented enough to like. Because you can't do a run with like Bad Bunny or something. Because Bad Bunny was okay, but
Yeah.
Logan Paul's like actually picking it up.
He is
and, like,
good.
So
Hate to say that. I thought Knight was solid here too. He is never going to be a ring general, but more than adequate for WWE.
he's more than adequate
style.
if you put him with someone else who's good.
Right.
Like AJ, he had a match with AJ at Mania, like this with Logan Paul. Like he can have a good match, so
I
I don't have many problems with him.
I thought this was an entertaining match that felt like the perfect length. I went 3.5 stars. I thought it was good.
I agree. I enjoyed it pretty well, and like the right result. It took them. It's probably like a year too late,
Yes.
or like not too late because
Like
I think
Nate's
he's still popular, but
he is, but
a
not.
year later than it should have been.
He's not as big as he was.
Because at SummerSlam last year, they had him winning the stupid Slim Jim Battle Royal, and that's when Theory was U.S. champion. Like, he should have just gotten it then.
And the thing is still pretty over.
Because they had Theory drop it to Rey Mysterio randomly, and then it got to Paul, right? Honestly, Paul could have done the same stuff, and like I don't think it was worth him having the title to not give it to Knight last year. You know what I mean? But better late than never.
Are we related?
Are we related or what?
Then, for some reason, the choice is made to subject us to watching Otis shave his stomach.
That was like...
So Manscaped, who have contacted us in the past about...
I'm just watching this happen on the TV, and then that's when Mother came by, and that's just like...
This is where...
One of those times where like...
You're embarrassed to be a wrestling fan.
It's one of those times in wrestling where not even that, it's just a random person is legally obligated to walk in the room because something like that's
thing
going
is on.
And it went on too long too. Like,
it did.
It did. I don't know why.
So
I still don't know why.
It happened.
It was something.
Then we get Nia Jax challenging Bayley for the women's championship. Yeah. This is what's going to seal it for you, right? I picked Bayley, you picked Jax, and I think
I did not want to. Let the record show.
I just did it so we didn't have the same card because no one likes a tie. So, anyways, Bayley ties Nia up in the ropes early and tries to take control, but obviously Nia has the power advantage, overpowers her, hits a Samoan drop. Plotting, basic offense from Nia, as always, leads to $1 million dream applied to Bayley. Eventual suplex by Bayley to escape. On the floor now, Bayley jumps off the steps onto Nia. Guillotine by Bayley, but Jax powers out of that, slams her before hitting a leg drop. Second rope leg drop avoided by Bayley, and she fires up, hits a Bayley to belly for 2, which was kind of impressive, but there was something more impressive coming.
Great, though.
Still, Bayley kicks out of a safe-looking Annihilator, or Bonsai drop as we know it. I decide to look at pickleball rackets online. That's not a good sign, right, of engagement in this match. Nia gets posted, third time in 4 matches, heads to the floor. Bayley dive is caught and turned into a Jack Samoan drop on the floor. Corner splash, hip attack. Bayley counters another Annihilator into a power bomb.
That was pretty sick.
Like walked her into the middle.
Yeah, not just like kind of from the corner, like actually carried her. So like actually had to do the legwork there.
So the previously pretty dead crowd is fired up by
crowd
that one
that,
move,
yeah.
right?
So that was well done for
Bayley
sure.
follows it up with an elbow drop for a 2 count, and then Stratton's music hits. So forgot all about her, to be honest. Bayley knocks her off the apron. In storyline, Stratton came out because
to distract Bayley. I don't think the point was ever to cash in.
To distract Bayley?
I told you, her and I have kind of had this weird affiliation lately.
I know.
Which I think is Nia's tactic to kind of like keep her from cashing in on her, you know what I mean? And so I think this is Tiffany helping her. I saw like when they're celebrating, Tiffany's looking at the title. So I definitely think Tiffany's gonna backstab her, obviously.
Yeah.
But
it just seemed weird that she came out because it didn't feel like she really was. I don't know.
Like she was never gonna cash in, so
no.
I guess it makes sense in that context. And also, I feel like it's weird because they've been ignoring the fact that like theoretically she could cash in on Liv.
Yeah.
Like they've been acting like that's not an option.
Right.
So that's like they just haven't mentioned it. It's weird.
Strange. Jax powerbomb, then another Annihilator, then another, and it's
her
over.
powerbomb was decent because she kind of chucked Bayley a bit. So it was jackknife-esque.
13 minutes. We have a new champion, and you were right. I didn't think this was terrible, but I said it was the low point of the show.
It was fine, honestly.
Nia's just slow and basic.
I just don't think she's good. Like people have been saying she's like really improved, however. I disagree.
So I think maybe character-wise she's improved. Like she's more of a believable monster, but in the ring she's the same.
Yeah, because like, and I was kind of reserving judgment because I'd never been a fan of her.
Yeah,
ever, like at all.
No,
but
you haven't.
I also haven't seen her wrestle a ton since she came back. So like this is, and it was kind of what I expected from her. Like she's fine.
Yes, the Bayley powerbomb spot was cool.
That was cool,
but It's about what I expected. I only gave it 2.5 because I enjoyed it less than Zayn Breaker.
I agree. I didn't love it. And I agree, like,
Bailey's run was
Bailey's
lame.
run was very
Weak.
middling, yeah. And I think I understand it's an effective move and like logically makes sense, but the bonsai drop's such a boring finisher. Like, I get it and it makes sense, and it like it's again makes sense for her to do, but it's just like it's not the 90s anymore. It's not Yoko's. Like, I feel
Who
like
did
we've
she
moved
hit the
on.
crazy looking one on?
I don't remember. Was it Naomi or was it Baszler or something?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
It was I thought it was Io maybe. It doesn't matter.
Someone small.
It did look pretty safe, the one she was hitting here. So
Bailey did have to kick out of one, so it might have been that one.
Yeah. So next match we get. Why do I say Gunther and Damian Priest? Because it's not. It is Punk and Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins in a ridiculous referee outfit, as expected. Yes. And we could hear Drew, because he gets introduced first, saying, "Bring that bitch out here. All you have to do is ring the bell and count to 3," which I thought was cool. Crowd is fired up for this, man. There is undeniable big fight feel here, right? For this match.
They've been building that. Well, Drew's been building this well for months.
He has.
So
Rollins pulls each out of the corner to stop, like stomps after a 5 count, I guess, to show that at least at the start he's somewhat impartial. Does the same to each man. Punk's in control on the floor. Drew gets sent into the timekeeper's area. No 10 count from Seth. He's just lying across the ropes in the corner, relaxing, right? Letting these two beat on each other. And then Punk is ramming Drew's head into the steps repeatedly, and Seth is just tying his shoes in the ring. Drew trips Punk on the apron to shift the momentum. Then he swings Punk into the announce table. He hits a decapitator against the underside of the ring. Seth encourages Drew to hit Punk harder at this point. We get a strike exchange. Drew catches Punk, powerbombs him, and another time. Rollins stops Drew from using a chair. Shades a 96 as commentary points
97.
out as well. Whatever it was.
It was pre-screw job.
With Michaels, right? Punk with a roll-up for more than 3, but Seth is distracted and doesn't count it. Drew pulls out the bracelet from his trunks.
Yeah, Punk got a few phantom pinfalls in this one.
Yes. Calls for the Claymore, but Punk counters it with a kick to take over. Eventual Punk elbow drop that annoys Jack. Don't know why.
Probably bad.
Maybe.
I think it was like super armpit drop or something.
Anaconda Vice. The Anaconda Vice puts the wrist in view, so then he notices the bracelet,
He's just like,
which is the most important thing in the world, apparently.
It's like, kind of reminds me of, although it's less important, but when Gacy was feuding with Breaker and he had Rick Steiner's Hall of Fame ring.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I hated that whole bit, I think.
That makes more sense, though, because that's got some prestige to it. I guarantee Punk could go to like Michaels or something and remake it.
Because a fan made it for him, okay? How dare you?
Oh, well, that changes everything.
So in the melee, the bracelet falls to the mat. Punk turns his attention to it and then turns right into a Claymore for a nice near fall. Punk escapes a future shock attempt and ends up getting posted.
Which is good because
4th time in 5 matches.
That destroyed his fragile shoulder or tricep or whatever.
He didn't get injured in this, so that's a win.
That not for me, but
Punk picks him up for the GTS, then notice that Rollins is wearing the bracelet because as the referee, you would pick up debris on the mat. Makes sense.
And this, again, such an injustice.
Right. Like, GTS, but Rollins has been knocked to the floor and gets back
Rollins
too late.
Took a GTS, or was it?
Did he?
Was this after? No, this was after.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Punk berates Seth and insults his Sabu pants, and you can hear him say it, which is kind of funny. Seth says that it's his company and they don't need Punk here.
I like you said, it's not about you, asshole.
Tells Punk to focus on the match. GTS to Rollins. Punk takes the bracelet. Drew low blow and a Claymore, but Rollins is still down,
which,
so
like,
the
if
count
you're
is
Punk,
late.
How dumb are you to GTS the referee? Like,
the count is late, but still happens.
Counterintuitive.
It is. Drew wins after 19 minutes.
Which I, again, did not expect. So I'm happy Drew won,
Very
but I'm
happy to be
kind of
wrong
angry
here.
that Punk, of course, cost me my perfect card.
Yeah, I'm happy to be wrong. Thrilled that Drew got the win.
Good for Drew. It's definitely not over, but I've heard Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, which probably sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds
I mean,
right.
Punk's definitely getting injured in that, but
for sure. I thought it was a good match, but the focus of the bracelet,
it was a little marred by that kind of shenanigans. Like, I feel like it, and also like,
and a ref that requires so much of my attention as well.
Right. I feel like it could have been a blood feud, and like I didn't hate Rollins' involvement, but I do feel like it could have been more of a bitter match if
yes, because the build to this has been pretty awesome. But I was not I was not super into the match at all. The visual pinfalls bugged me. The ref being such a big part of the match left it a little bit lacking. to be honest, I was more into the opener with Liv and Rhea. And I say that because it was similar, like really good build along the way. But I felt like
it's
that
been like
one,
similar amounts of time.
the payoff was better. So I went 3.5 stars. I don't think it was bad, but I don't think it was awesome either. Similar, a little lower.
I'll go a little lower just to spite Punk, so I'll go 3.25.
Nice.
And they robbed me of a nice Seth Rollins attire, so yeah.
They did. Then we get Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think this was my favorite match on the show. Pretty close with this in the opener.
It was pretty good. We both said I thought Priest's gear was nice. It was just like pretty subtle. It was no Judgment Day colors. It's just like black, mostly black with some white for like logos and patterns. And I just thought it looked like it was just a nice kind of low key look compared to like some of the more extravagant like purple and stuff we've seen. So I just thought it looked like just
foreshadowing his removal.
It could, yeah. And I just thought it looked sleek. It was just like kind of a nice low key look. So I thought
I thought he was working really snug in this.
Which I guess he has
with Walter,
right?
Yeah. Because if you're gonna wrestle Walter and he's gonna beat the hell out of you, so I don't think Walter cares if you.
Priest had some good forearms too. It's no Takeshita, but he has got some good shots.
So we get a flurry of punches from Priest right away. Gunther escapes to the floor. Priest follows him out there, and Gunther runs him into the post and drops him on the apron. We get a little back and forth, and Gunther hits a butterfly suplex. Gunther and Priest are up top a really long time. I didn't know if there was some miscommunication there. Ends in a Priest Frankensteiner and a broken arrow for 2. The pace is slow but steady, as sometimes Gunther's matches are.
It's slow but not boring.
No, I agree. Loud strike exchange. Kicks take Gunther down and his chest is bleeding. McAfee is so annoying. I actively try not to listen to him. I don't know what he said to prompt that note.
Like I saw some video talking about there's the Pat McAfee problem. Like, yes, finally. And then a bunch of the comments are like, no, like his defense. I'm like, I don't understand how
WWE is perfect. There's nothing wrong.
I just don't understand how so many people actually enjoy him. Like what the guy was saying in the video and is true is like the commentators are supposed to enhance everything, right? And like
I'm looking to not
he's like drawing attention, like kind of like you're saying with Rollins' reference, like he makes it too much. Like he's just like when he's like sitting on the table eating and like the thing. Well, he says stupid stuff. And like he's like yelling random
too
stuff
demonstrative
that Cole doesn't even understand, and then like he's taking focus away like too much.
It's like they say about referees: the best referees you shouldn't even notice they're there. Right. So and same with comment. He should be adding, not like taking focus away.
Like, and not even that he has to be unnoticeable, because like Mauro Ranallo was over the top sometimes, but I love Mauro. I'll always love Mauro. But that was
because he was getting excited. I don't know.
And he was getting excited about the match, and like he was kept into, or even like classic JR, right? Like
it just feels like McAfee's like, how can I get this about me for a minute?
Or like just trying to get like cheap laughs at like random stuff he says. But yeah, like, and I miss Mauro.
More chops and kicks. Gunther's down again. He turns the tables with a shotgun dropkick and a power bomb for a 2 count. Gunther takes over with some devastating clotheslines. He starts talking to Priest before kicking him in the face. Priest is defiant and asks for more, so he gets a hard chop. Chops keep taking Priest down, but he keeps sort of sitting up. And then Balor shows up, apparently to support Damian Priest, right? Priest starts to fight back, but a boot takes him down again. Gunther kicks Balor, and it gives Priest time to recover, and he starts to rally. Razor's Edge and South of Heaven. Kind of lame.
Deliberately rolls him to the ropes.
Yeah, it kind of rolls him towards the ropes and then pins him.
I feel like he's trying to make it look like Gunther's rolling away and he's trying to grab him, but it looked like Priest was kind of nudging him there. So it just looked kind of awkward to me.
And then Balor puts Gunther's foot on the rope.
And then he's just like, I thought it was funny how like he did that and just turned away from the ring. He's just standing like.
And I thought it was a cool touch that Priest didn't see it. And he noticed the replay on the Tron.
I thought that was kind of cool.
And so then he's
I don't feel like we don't see it happen like that sometimes.
No, they're never that smart, right? To just look.
Right, it's like, or I guess, they're never that smart, or like they either they see it during, or something like that.
Gunther applies a sleeper as Balor stares, so he gets this like demonic grin on his face, which almost was too much, I thought. And he holds that face for a long time, staring at Priest from ringside. Priest fights his way out, grabs Balor by the neck, but then Gunther gets him back, power bombs him back to the sleeper, and Priest is out after 17 minutes. I really enjoyed this match. I thought Priest stepped up.
Nice slugfest.
Yeah, he stepped up his aggression to work with Gunther. Gunther worked his deliberate but like totally believable style that works so well at seemingly with everybody.
Yeah, if Priest had stepped it up a bit more like in his other matches, it would have been better too. But
yeah, I thought he was really good here.
Yeah,
we knew the Balor thing was going to come to a head at some point. Gives Gunther the title,
which again, predictable but good.
Right, protects Priest a little bit, right? Because he got screwed over here. Yeah. And it gives him like a hot feud to settle into.
and one that's not like a major step down, like it's still of importance.
But Gunther can move on to something else, which he does on Raw, as we'll see. So I thought it was quite good. I gave it 3 3/4 stars.
I agree. I enjoyed it quite a bit for a main roster match.
It's my favorite match, I think, bell to bell.
Yeah, for in-ring especially. Yeah, I think the opener gives it a run just based on the story told. Because this one, the story I wasn't super into, but in-ring, I think, as a match, I enjoyed this one the most for sure.
Yep. Miz and R-Truth do things.
Oh, I just, no.
Details. A-Town Down Under come out.
It was
them. And it's awful, so we skip it.
It was all them in Jelly Roll. And then I saw someone point out, like, so because they had like a...
Oh, we saw the chokeslam. We didn't see it.
They had a mid, like, nothing TV match on Raw the next day, which is weird.
They did.
A-Town Down Under were on SmackDown. And it's funny because, let's not forget, these were the two teams that won the titles at Mania.
That's right.
These are the two teams who won that ladder match at Mania.
I will say,
that's crazy.
I thought Theory sold really well. For
Theory
Jelly
always
Roll.
bumps really well, yeah. But like, I just think it's so crazy that's the judgment they made, and here we are. Just I don't even know.
Solo Sikoa Cody Rhodes main event for the WWE Championship.
Cody somehow managed to make his entrance longer.
No reason this needed to be 29 minutes, in my opinion. But anyways, Cody has his dog. We get to watch him walk. from the bus.
He comes from the bus with Pharaoh and then walks all the way to Gorilla. Like somehow they. Like, if they did this for Roman's entrance, I would have lost my shit.
It's already 20 minutes long. You don't need to add him from... We're going to start from his house at the next PLE?
Yeah, like we're going to follow him on the road.
He goes to the airport, gets in a couple lines.
He has to get checked for metal things. He has to get the pad down. Like,
yeah, we'll get it all. With dramatic music playing underneath it.
Yeah, remember AEW said like the extra prelude to his entrance? They're going to have like a super half-hour loop of that or something.
That's what it'll be.
Yeah, he walks with Pharaoh, then he talks to Arn Anderson because that's what we needed.
Gets a pep talk from Arn.
Puts on a skull, then comes out.
Yes.
You love the skull.
And I said, my note is...
You loved it.
Cody is absolutely insufferable for me. All the grandiose pre-match stuff and the mask make me groan.
That was too much.
It's just everything he does.
With Roman, it's slow, but like Roman at least commands that aura. Like his entrance has some presence to it. Cody, I just can't. This is too much.
Solo blocks the drop down right hand of Cody early.
I will say I don't love to listen to it, but Solo's theme is very nice for him.
Headbutts and a chop from Solo. He has control for a bit early. Cody skins the cat, disaster kick and a dive to the floor.
Such a weird phrase.
Goes for another dive but takes a shot from Sikoa. Spinning heel kick by Solo for 2. Paces slow, Samoan drop from Solo. Samoan spike avoided, Cody cutter. Hydration station taken out again. Solo sit out powerbomb for 2. Solo hip attack, spinning Solo for 2. Commentary talk
for a
about...
while they forgot this was no DQ. Like it was a normal match.
It was very normal. Commentary talk about how deliberate Solo is. No kidding. Another Samoan drop.
Not like Gunther, though.
Leaping headbutt to a Tree of Woe Cody.
Because he's Samoan.
Cole says he didn't get all of it, and then he goes for it again and misses. Twisting moonsault from Cody that McAfee calls ugly but effective. Cody superplex, and I feel like I'm waiting for a dozen people to come out eventually. Like that none of this action, as slow as it is, really matters.
It does not.
Right? So that's a problem. Crossroads.
So I haven't seen make a bloodline rules. Like you just...
That's them waiting. It doesn't start until like 3 people have come in.
Right. That's them signaling the interference. Because it's like, in a lot of the Roman matches, people interfere anyways, but at least it's like not...
Right.
They're not flagging it to you. You know what I mean? This is basically like the lights on a airplane runway.
Come
and
on
they're just
in.
like, here we
Wave
go.
them in.
Yeah.
So it's Camacho and Tama Tonga first.
So then like he drives Cody into the corner, instead of hitting the corner, like hits off the ropes, and I'm just dying laughing.
I did make a note that you were laughing at Camacho.
He can't do a single thing right.
Nothing.
Like he nearly botched his debut at Backlash. He messed up the low blow Money in the Bank. Like literally in the tag titles, they had Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga win it which says something about how
his
bad
eye's injured. Okay.
yeah, I don't know why he has an eye patch, but like that says something about his in-ring ability because Gorillas of Destiny have been like a tag team.
$300,000 checks minimum.
That's true,
right?
Because like Gorillas of Destiny have been a tag team for a while, and WWE don't even trust him enough to do it.
No, he's brutal.
It just made me laugh so much that he just can't do a single thing right. I love it so much.
So KO is next to come out, and I said it's like the Royal Rumble. You're just waiting. Like
it is. It's another Royal Rumble.
Numbers game gets to him as well. Orton's out next, and I'm annoyed already by this.
The Bloodline have enough people to do their own Rumble.
So we get RKO and a stunner to somebody. Orton power slam, KO splash, and a crossroads. Still can't pin Solo. The rest brawl to the back, conveniently. as we get some more match here. Cody puts the steps in the ring, hits Sikoa with them twice, then gets speared as the steps go flying. I kind of
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. Solo misses a hip attack, hits the steps, 2 crossroads. Jacob Fatu shows up, comes off.
He comes in with like the corkscrew because like
immediately,
as a normal person does. He's just flying around all over the place,
and then follows up with a nice moonsault.
He's just, and like you were pointing it out too, he just goes up and sends it. He doesn't look.
You better be there because here I come.
Yeah, like he's just a mad lad. I love him.
Fatu kicks Cody onto the announce table, goes up top, and that splash. Cody
it looked like he bashed his shin on the edge. So I really hope he's okay because again, I love Jacob Fatu. I think he's crazy. Solo
splash back in the ring for 2. Cody collapses to avoid a Samoan spike. Cody cutter from the top. And then everybody knew was happening. Again, predictable is not bad. It's Roman Reigns. He comes out. Great reaction.
With a lesser theme.
Obviously.
I don't like the new theme.
I didn't even notice, obviously. He spears Solo and then just walks away.
With like the loudest ooh-ah I think I've ever heard. Because like, it's the craziest thing in the universe has happened. Roman Reigns is an actual babyface.
Yes.
That the people wanted. Which like Vince would like be crapping himself. Like, I think the fact that Vince tried for so long and couldn't do it, and then Triple H just did it something, because like they tried for so long.
Millionth crossroads and it's over after 29 minutes.
Is the crossroad not like the crossroads at this point?
The worst finisher ever.
The anti one-winged angel,
right? That
like
you have to hit it 3 times minimum.
It's almost mandatory. Yeah, like the finisher isn't the crossroads; it's the crossroads Trinity. Like
right.
Which is fine. It's either that or Roman spear, because I feel like Roman speared everybody 50,000 times.
But then Superman punches them.
That's true. That's true. And I saw someone point out Bloodline are 0 for 2 in their own match.
Right.
This and Roman at Mania,
signature
their
match.
Own rules. They're 0 and 2, which I think is hilarious.
It is funny.
That's just awesome.
Again, almost exactly what I expected. Match wasn't bad, but this type of pace and a million people coming in is not my thing.
It wasn't as bad as Roman and Jay last year, but it definitely wasn't like, it was kind of what I expected, which isn't a rigging endorsement, because I wasn't sold on Solo as a pay-per-view main eventer. We all knew it was just because Roman was coming, and you're not putting that anywhere else on the card.
And Solo worked like Roman, but he doesn't have the gravitas of Roman.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that presence.
And Solo's entrance is just like, he's just another dude, but like no matter how like slow or methodical it is, Roman's entrance alone, that's why I liked his old theme. This theme is just, it's a remix kind of thing, but I don't like it as much. But like his old theme and everything, just he has that gravitas. Mm-hmm. He has the aura, the presence to him. I think his theme, I don't listen to it a lot, but it's a perfect song for him, right?
Yeah.
And just everything about him, he has that something about him, right? And it's just what Solo's been lacking, which maybe is partially the point, but I feel like on some level, they did also genuinely try with Solo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think it's working. I feel like it was always going to be temporary.
They should have waited a little longer and done the same with Fatu.
Yeah, honestly, genuinely, if there was some way we could have the whole thing go the same with Fatu, I would
reverse the arrival of those two.
Exactly, because Fatu is like, because Solo was great as the silent enforcer for Roman, right? And I think Fatu is just fantastic. And I think if you
did the angle of Fatu slowly starting to take over, and even when the other guys notice, like, who's going to stop him?
Right. They would be so afraid. Or, like, because you know how Heyman for weeks was scared of Solo, and, like, because Solo's going on this rampage, he's bringing these unknowns, right? And, like,
it'd be way more believable of Fatu.
With Fatu, yeah, sorry. Because, like, he's just insane. Yes. He's crazy. And also, then, remember, because Solo's whole character was that he was abandoned by his family, right?
Yeah.
Then it would be cooler. What if, because Fatu's such a madman, he brings in the street champ Solo, and like now Solo has an axe to grind with the old bloodline, because he's like, what the hell? My brothers were in this group.
Yeah.
You didn't bring me in. Right. So like, honestly, if they could have role reversal Solo and Fatu, I would have
freshened this up a bit.
Fatu, I think, is a much more believable top guy than Solo, and because they were afraid he would overshadow Solo, right? And I think like the fact that bro comes in and just does like the corkscrew senton to Cody, like he's just Solo's not.
And
doing
that's not just
like
us. It seems to be consensus. Like Fatu is.
I genuinely like. I haven't seen a lot of Fatu before this, but I've known of him, and I just think he's fantastic.
He's great.
He's insane.
And apparently, like, he's literally been in a gang, been in prison, like
kind of like Nick Gage or
something.
Like
he's a real deal.
Oh, that's part of the aura he has. Yeah. Like he has, like you were just saying, the aura that Solo lacks.
Correct.
And, like,
so I thought this match was not helped by waiting for all the interference. and waiting for Roman to show up, right? So it's just kind of like none of it matters because we know
good and predictable bad. Because like Roman is like that's great, but like the match exactly what I thought it would be, right? Like
my note says, while the opener was sports entertainment that I can really get behind, this was sports entertainment stuffed with sports entertainment, topped with sports entertainment, and it was a bit too rich for me. Right?
So, it's like a rich mac and cheese where it's just like
right. It's 3 bites and I'm good. I don't need 29 minutes of it.
Right.
You could have done this in 4.
Right. Exactly.
I went 3 1/4 because like it was fine.
3
better than average.
3.
I guess you're
especially
saying average.
If Fatu gets injured. If Fatu gets injured, I quit.
So I didn't do any math on this one. I'm just going by my gut. I kind of enjoyed this show. Like I thought it went by, despite being like probably I don't know how. Again, we skip a bunch of stuff, right? Especially now that I watch Raw, I don't even need the recaps of the Raw storylines. Right?
It's all relative. Like I don't know how long it was either.
So, but I would say it was a B. Like I had a pretty good time.
I was gonna say like it felt like a pretty decent. I was gonna say B+ almost, but
the Jax match
I don't know if I liked it.
Wasn't good, and I know again we didn't rate the Zayn Breaker match high, but that's not because I don't think it was a good.
It's
choice.
just because it's not
just a short match,
enough substance to warrant a.
So I went with a solid B. I was pretty entertained by this, and it was good payoffs, right? I think what we're learning,
or even just furthering storylines, because the Judgment Day stuff's not done, and Punk and McIntyre aren't done, but like more so the Judgment Day stuff, I feel like they did a really good job of like giving us kind of the payoffs, but also like it's still going. You know what I mean?
So I think I've been thinking of my half-baked theory on this is right now I think WWE does a better job with some long-term storytelling. I'm not saying they're all winners, but some of them are really good. And so when it's a good story, the WWE in-ring style is enough to make it really enjoyable, right? Like a 3 3/4, maybe a 4-star match. Whereas AEW, for me, they're much more capable of just putting 2 random people or teams in a ring and giving me an entertaining match.
We're less dependent on the story.
Right. I would still like both. Like I would love
Hangman's big story, for example.
Right. So AEW has done it in the past. So I think
they haven't really recaptured the magic yet. But
I think WWE's got the market cornered right now on storylines and like moments, like Roman returns.
Yeah, or even
the big
like
moment.
Peak would have been if they could do this storytelling. Like that's what again Black and Gold NXT, because they had that level of storytelling with like Ciampa and Gargano, and the match is delivered on a level that AEW delivered on. So that's why that was the perfect storm.
So then the problem with WWE becomes like on Raw when I get there, when it's a storyline that's not going well and you put them in the ring. For example, whatever Final Testament
or even Jackson Bailey wasn't a story we were
it's
super
just like
in.
Then I'm not, the in-ring isn't good enough to like in AEW I'm like, okay, the story sucks, but look who's in the ring, so I'll watch it. And
it could be a crap story and it's like Takeshita and somebody, and I still
neither company's perfect, right? I feel
they
like
got strengths.
The in-ring it's AEW, the storytelling and moments it's WWE right now. But anyways, B show. We'll shift gears into talking some AEW, specifically taking a look at their Wednesday night offering of AEW Dynamite. All right, I made coffee, so you can talk about Dynamite while I drink coffee. You got a big old orange juice, and I fed the cat her snack so that maybe she'll stop screaming at us, but
she's literally been screaming, like almost literally all day.
A big day of yelling, for sure.
It's probably been a record-breaking day of yelling. I think the only time she took an extended break was when she took a nap. Like, I feel like she usually naps more.
She has a lot of anger.
She has an insane amount of anger for such a small being.
She does.
It's not healthy.
It's all food related.
It's always food related. Anyways, we kick off with MJF versus Kyle Fletcher in an American Championship Eliminator. Again, I feel like All American just flows better, but whatever. Bit of a new entrance for Fletcher with some cool like lighting work with the tunnel. Like he started his entrance and posing in front of the tunnel with like light, like spotlight kind of on him. Just looked a little more big time for him, so I like the little bit of effort in his presentation there.
We didn't talk about this show much while we watched it together, but this show peaks here for me. I was not a fan of this episode, I'm not going to lie to you.
I didn't relate.
My first note is this show is chock full of matches that no one asked for and meant very little.
That applies to the main event on so many levels.
And applies to more than the main event, dude. After this.
I like the trios match.
Did it feel random?
Yeah, but so did last week.
They literally sub 2 guys in that have nothing to do with anything.
That's fine though, because they do that with trios.
But again, in ring, fine. But it's just like, doesn't matter. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Lots of time.
Callis is on commentary because Callis family, I guess.
Being kind of baby face-ish, which was weird.
It is weird, but I feel like it's kind of the same thing when Ospreay was with him. It's like, because Fletcher's kind of on the.
And you could always explain it away as Callis is so smart that he's assuming whatever personality he thinks will keep them in the fold.
Right, exactly.
Right?
That too.
We saw a funny sign that says MJF eats spaghetti with his hands. I made a note of that one. And then my other thing was Taz talks about, I think they maybe referred to Fletcher as being big, and he was like, I don't equate height with size. And I'm like, gee, I wonder why he doesn't. But then he admitted, like, I'm 5'8", which I think is generous. Too.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That sign is so stupid because it's like, what does that even mean? Because, like,
those are our favorite signs.
That is my favorite. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
But, like, even, like, because there's that infamous time it was like Goldberg eats corn the long way.
Yeah.
That at least makes sense to me in the fact that, like, that's something no one does. But, like, I guess it's the same thing, but it's just that, like, they don't feel like equal amounts of strange, you know? It's just, I don't know. MJF rolls out of the ring when the bell rings, and he grabs the mic, says they either lock up like real wrestlers, or he'll grab his belt and leave. And they're about to lock up. He just kicks Fletcher in the gut, which actually did make me chuckle quite a bit.
You LOL'd, as the kids say.
Okay. That was
okay.
All right,
that's a win. As soon as I get you to do that, that's a win, folks.
No. But like that, it's classic MJF, but it did actually make me chuckle for some reason. He calls for the brainbuster, like kind of like double clothesline style, like him and Cole. Or what I was thinking is more like how Power Rangers will be like power sword, and then they call out all their moves.
Yeah.
Before, cause like the tactical geniuses they've always been.
The Power Rangers, absolutely.
They are just tactical geniuses. They would kick Thrawn's ass,
Never fight one at a time. Always as a group, Smart that way.
That's actually, you know what? Power Rangers are a bunch of assholes. They're always like doing like gang rules and like it's just I don't like it, man.
No.
I don't like it. Rita
you did.
Rita Repulsa got screwed, man. I've rewatched some Power Rangers like not too long ago. I feel like it's been like let's put it this way, it's definitely not been a calendar year
since you watched Power Rangers.
Almost for sure.
Nice,
because especially since I found like playlists on YouTube. Yeah. Anyways, so MJF calls her brainbuster. Fletcher counts in a small package for a 2 count, then a backslide for 2, and a sunset flip for 2. Like a big body slam. It looked like he was getting that spinning Michinoku he does, but and it ended up just kind of as a body slam, which is fine. Really wicked arm wrench from MJF, like kind of just like one where like kind of goes under and then just like rips him down by his arm. So that was really good. Then the butterfly shoulder breaker, which always looks pretty stellar. MJF goes for the kangaroo kick. Fletcher nails him with a super kick to cut him off at the pass. Fletcher hit this nice swing on side slam for 2, like kind of where he has him like for World's Strongest Slam, but he like swings him out into like a Uranagi, kind of the like Grimes used to do it, or it's formerly Big Bill's East River Crossing,
right?
But yeah, Fletcher hit a running calf kick, knock MJF off the apron, then nails him with a suicide dive. MJF misses a running boot ringside, goes over the barricade, and then Fletcher dives to take him out. And he kind of like stands in the crowd poses. He seemed pretty over, so great for him. Big diving elbow drop from Fletcher for 2. They had the fans doing the Aussie, Aussie, Aussie chant, so again, good for Fletcher. Like he seemed in his element this one. MJF hits that hammerlock cradle DDT for 2. Just disgusting.
You love that.
Like it's just the way he sticks him every time. It just looks gross. Like I can't. Strike exchange. MJF hits a destroyer. Fletcher comes back with a lariat to leave them both down, which I'm sure some people call no selling, but I feel like that's within reason. The adrenaline.
Right.
Fletcher lawn darts MJF into the middle turnbuckle. Excalibur on commentary acknowledges Pac has a title shot.
Snake Eye Jones.
That's true.
As well.
That's worth noting is that they actually made reference to Pac.
Yeah.
So
the last remaining member of Death Triangle, I guess.
Supposedly. Fletcher nails that corner kick he always does, and he goes for the turnbuckle brainbuster. MJF bites his head, goes for Avalanche Tombstone. Fletcher escapes and counters the pin Westerners in a pinfall for 2. A beautiful tombstone from Fletcher for 2. Cassidy's commentary slides a screwdriver to Fletcher. Fletcher thinks about it, can't do it. Low blow from MJF while Callis had the ref distracted. Kangaroo kick rockets Fletcher into the corner. Like it looked pretty solid.
It did.
Essentially just like MJF's goofy run up into a shotgun drop kick. So it looked good. And then MJF fall with a really quality brainbuster, which seems to be a new finish for him lately, to get the win. Then post-match, we see Ospreay trying to get out of his locker room, and it's like locked shut. Like there's a road keys in front of the door, and someone moves it so he can get out. MJF takes out the ref, then puts him down in ring before he nails Fletcher, beats him down for those. He's busted open. And then he says to the camera he'll do what Ospreay doesn't have the balls to do. He goes for the Tiger Driver. Ospreay spins down and chases MJF away.
I'm glad they sort of explained why Ospreay couldn't get down there, right? Because I'm always the guy going like, what took him so long? It's his best friend. Like, why? So that I like that they sort of dealt with that.
I think I saw someone say it. Maybe not. But it does kind of beg the question whether MJF did that or Callis did that.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. So I thought really good opening match, obviously. Like, we say it all the time, but Kyle Fletcher's the real deal. Nice.
I think especially lately, he's really like been rounding himself out. Nice
for him to get a showcase in like an extended competitive match like this. I think he's a breakout candidate for next year, I would say.
Absolutely.
We already know how good MJF is in the ring. If people don't think he is, they're really not paying attention because he's had some
I'd even say for
matches.
us, at least, we already know how great Fletcher is in ring.
Yep. Especially when MJF is a heel, so this worked well with Fletcher. And I think Fletcher's kind of like the appetizer to the Ospreay rematch, right? And we all knew the result of this match, but entertaining nonetheless, like a really fun opener.
Yeah, great opener. A bit of a star-making match for Fletcher, I felt. Between his promo last week and this, I think he seems to be getting over really well, and he's got a bright future, and I'm really happy for him because we've been fans of him since, would have been 2019. We saw him at the indie show when we met him.
I think we motivated him personally.
Yeah,
his career since we met him has been like,
that's true.
Right?
He didn't really do anything before we met him, so
we talked to them.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
That was the same show we talked to Grayson, right?
Yes, and I think we saw Fallen Angel.
Killer Kelly.
Killer
Kelly. I didn't recognize.
That was hilarious, especially because then later on you liked her run in TNA.
I like Killer Kelly.
So
She's kind of disappeared though.
That was the funny part is that like, well, yeah, because now Masha's.
But it was her in street clothes, so in my defense.
That's true. Who else did we meet that I swear there was like, I remember getting the hat and like Strong Hearts were there.
Yep. Christopher Daniels was there.
Yeah.
Looking miserable.
Yeah.
Charging $10 for a photo. Okay. Christopher Daniels. Nope. There. See you later.
I don't remember what else was there, but anyways. Yeah, we've already been saying that he's great, but he's becoming more and more of a complete player as of late, and it's great to see. Crowd was really into the match, and they seemed very behind Fletcher, which was great. And kudos to him for that, but also for MJ, just because he's a master heel. The action was great. Fletcher's just a joy to watch in the ring. I love his style and his moveset. I think he's amazing. And just did a killer job working the arm throughout the match. Like some of the stuff he hit was gnarly. Finish was solid too, kind of protects Fletcher because MJF had to cheat to win and sets up babyface Fletcher defecting from Callis because he's kind of going the Ospreay route.
Yeah.
Not cheating with the screwdriver and kind of.
That spot bugged me. It was way too long. And the screwdriver is a stupid weapon too, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like him. I don't know. That whole part was way too long. The distraction with Callis. That was the only blemish.
All around, I enjoyed this quite a bit. And while I miss Aussie Open, I hope we continue to see great things for Fletcher in the future because I think him and Takeshita are some bright future stars if AEW keeps them around and does them right.
Right.
And keep them around, I'd say more so for Takeshita.
Yeah.
Because
who's killing it in G1.
Yeah.
By all accounts.
And just with his enjoyment in the US, and like I feel like there's a chance New Japan could snap him up. And I mean, if they did,
he's not happy in America, so
Takeshi's the kind of guy New Japan might need right now.
Mm-hmm. He is. So he 100% is.
As much as I don't want it to happen,
somewhat young like main eventer.
Yeah, like because I feel like that's what they're trying to do with like Tsuji and Yomura and Umino.
They are.
But
they're trying to figure out who the next like Tanahashi, Nakamura, Ospreay, Omega at that level. It's tough.
But selfishly, I want Takeshita sticking around here.
Me too.
But anyways, yeah, a couple of Callis boys who really bright futures here, and so I was happy to see how like over Fletcher seemed to be, just because I think like with him coming into his own, I hope they continue to do right by him and get him a belt soon. That's not an ROH one that means nothing.
Yes, please.
Like I still haven't watched that match with him and Lee Johnson, which I heard was really good.
Big shoddy.
Danielson Jarrett package. It was just previous stuff. It was fine. I just have zero clue why Jarrett has to be involved in this. It's our main event storyline for the biggest show of the year. Why is he here?
And I just said, Jarrett's a classy babyface now. Sure, okay.
And so is Karen Jarrett and
Sanjay Dutt by association
and Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh.
Yep.
Next again, Mariah May versus Viva Van. Too long.
Exhibit A, Your Honor.
If it was a squash, it would have made more sense.
Right.
And
I'm telling you,
but it was extended.
I've seen Viva Van all over the indies. Back when I was watching Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, she was there. And
I've heard her name.
not super impressive, but she didn't get to show
Yeah.
much here, really.
May with the German suplex that looked pretty good. Diving shotgun from May. Van got a roll up after May was arguing with the ref for 2. Running shotgun dunk kick from May. Hip attack in the corner. Then she does like the headshots, like the shoe style thing. May kisses her on the cheek, smashes her with the running knee that looked pretty good. It's no Wagamama, no power drive, but it's still good. Mayday and a Storm Zero for the win. She gets presented with the gift. It's a frame picture of her and Storm hugging. On the back, it says, "Die, Mariah, die." Then we get a pull apart ball with her and Storm.
Yeah, this was short. Could have been shorter, I thought.
I think it should have been shorter, but at least May still look killer.
I thought Van's highlight was that she had a good-looking up kick, right? A pretty stiff-looking up kick. Not much else. And then I think May taking her time finishing the match, it adds to like her evil persona right now, that she's just there to hurt people and whatever.
And her always reverting to Storm Zero at the end, right?
And I guess Toni Storm's rage with this whole situation has led her to stop dressing like a movie star from decades ago, because she's just coming out in black.
She's still just
right.
Something about her character.
It's overly dramatic, right?
Yeah,
it's like melodrama, if that's the right.
Yeah, it just doesn't work for me.
Especially when you've got somebody playing it kind of straight, right? It's just a weird contrast.
Mariah's like the villain and the straight man.
Yeah.
It's odd for sure. Quick Perry promo. He was talking more about sacrifices, and like I think he mentioned Darby Allin. I didn't get the gist of what he was saying. It was a little lost there for me. And TJR said apparently it was cut off by a Taco Bell ad in the US.
So it was footage of like previous. It was like 9 old TVs or something stacked up.
So it was cool. It didn't. It wasn't super discernible for me, but I like it enough. I enjoy.
It was kind of like Wyatt stuff. Like it looks cool and sounds cool, but I don't know what it
or
really
House of Black.
What it really accomplished.
A lot of House of Black vignettes are like that for me. Right after we get Darby Allin promo,
I have Darby in a comfy looking garment. It was like a big fluffy
pink,
hooded thing. It looked comfy.
There's that pink hoodie on the website that I think is really cool that I want to get. But anyways, he says everyone's been asking why he didn't light Perry on fire. Anyways, the blood and guts after the match. He said he didn't want Perry to have an excuse to skip All In. He says Perry hasn't even been on TNT to defend the title, because obviously he's got the title of the network. But he says he doesn't have to show up to TV at all. He just needs to show up at All In. It was quick from Darby, but I thought he delivered it well, and I enjoyed it.
I thought good intensity, and I'm interested in the match between the two, but not. It's almost like despite the build, because I don't think the build is tremendous, but I'm interested in the match. And I thought he sounded good.
I want a stipulation on this. I feel like it just warrants it.
Yeah, you could get one. It's the Battle of the Pillars, man.
Well, because they hate each other, and also because both of them are kind of batshit crazy.
Yeah.
More so Darby, but like Perry got lit on fire and tried to hit Darby with a bus.
Right.
So I feel like we should do.
There's some history there.
Why don't we do like some bus match where you have to
Inferno bus match? Get him on the bus, close the door,
and light it on fire.
And light it on fire.
I could do that. I could work with that. I would like that. I was even thinking just like I was thinking either match where you have to run the war with a bus, or like an ambulance match that's the bus.
Right.
But I like yours better because it's like an ambulance match with an Inferno match.
Right.
So
double it up.
I agree. We do an Inferno bus match.
A stip on top of a stip.
Combining them to make a great match.
A super stip. That's right.
That's what makes sense. Okay. Then we go to Katsuyori Shibata versus Bad Apple.
Exhibit B, Your Honor.
I had noted that Shibata's nickname is just the wrestler, and I think it's a million times better than Keith's.
The Bad Apple?
Yeah. I hate it. It's so dumb. It might partially be to do with the character itself, but I still hate it.
And we were super open to Brian Keith.
Oh, I thought he was so cool. And now I just...
Even though he was losing every week, we're like, he's kind of looks different. His style's kind of cool.
And now I just hate him.
Yeah.
I just straight up hate him. Jericho's on commentary. Taz got kicked out, so that's cool. Shibata puts Keith's arm back and does like that stomp a couple times, like the Baszler style kind of thing. Keith targets Shibata's arm at ringside and then shouts at the camera, respect Jericho, because why would he ever stop? Ushigoroshi from Keith for 2. Back heel chair from Shibata, big overhand chop. Shibata wins with a juge. Gets attacked after Hook is here.
Yeah, I guess that was the big point, is Hook is back, right? And the match was fine, I guess, but I didn't really get into it.
Honestly, I kind of feel like I'd be more interested at this point in like Shibata versus Big Bill, just because I feel like it'd be an interesting contrast.
You knew where this match was going. It's a really uninteresting, like mid-card fodder kind of story that's not working for me. So I did not care about this at all. Like I quite enjoy Shibata too, but like there was no point to this. Really,
I do enjoy Shibata.
Other than Hook coming out.
I agree. I do enjoy Shibata, but this wasn't a banner thing for me. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
but it's pretty short, and there's a lot of arm targeting back and forth. Yeah, I love Shibata. He didn't showcase much. And Keith was cooler before he was Bad Apple. Like, he's still solid, but I just don't like him anymore.
This learning tree needs to stop.
This needs to die.
At the end of the day.
I don't know what we have to do, but this has to die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to have Hook back, I guess, but he's still stuck in this feud, so it can't be that great.
No.
And like we were saying before, he either comes out, like, he gains nothing from this. He either comes out worse off or in the same position. Yeah, right. Like, there's no...
It's a lateral move or a step back.
There's no upshot for this.
Seems that way.
Orange Cassidy interview. Renee talks about the rest of the conglomeration having travel issues. Cassidy says he'll still do the matches against Undisputed Kingdom and Mordos and Roosh, but I forgot about him.
How dare you?
He said he found a couple local boys looking for a fight. Renee tells him to let her know if he needs anything. Cassidy says, "Do you want to wrestle for me?" Which I thought was kind of funny. It was solid. I hope the travel issues are legit because I don't know why they would rob me of a Briscoe promo again.
I think it was. And yeah, like this was just to say he's getting 2 new people, so that's fine.
Yeah. Hangman interview real quick. He said there's one man he wanted to take everything that he could from, but for that one man, there have been a dozen or more dumbasses that got in his way. He said justice delayed is justice denied, and he will have what he wants.
So I assume he's referring to Swerve.
I thought he was talking about Nana.
And he's going to have to wait. So does this mean... I'm starting to think Swerve loses. And then we go back to Swerve Page with the belt not in play.
I don't think so.
Or does Page cost Swerve it all in? Like, that could happen.
I could see it, but I don't think so. I feel like Danielson's done. And, like,
I don't think
the fact that, well, he's not signing another contract.
I know.
I don't see him having, like, this short run with the title.
I don't think he wants to commit to never wrestling again. His thing is he wants to...
But then I saw something that he was like...
full time, but still do big matches that come up.
I swear I saw something like he was like... He was kind of having a change of heart because he doesn't know if he can, like, keep it up.
Because I know there's one dude... I forget his name.
That.
I listened to someone interview him, and he's just retiring from the indies, but he's one guy Danielson still wants to work, and that they're going to try and set something up. So I just feel like the language of I will never wrestle again is too strong, and he's not going to do that.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not fully sold on that yet. But I feel like either way, yeah, Hangman does have to wait. I enjoy Angry Hangman, though, a lot. I think his ongoing obsession is interesting to watch. I thought justice delayed is justice denied is a great line.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that sounded awesome. And I hope we can get going with this after All In. Darby has a shot against Swerve at Grand Slam, or I guess whoever wins. But I don't I don't know how long Hangman can chase him to no success. So they got to get going on this.
Yep.
Because it's a really good story if they do it. Like, this is like a storyline that, like we were saying before, that they might be sorely lacking. They just kind of got to kick it into gear.
They do.
Full gear.
Nice.
Texas Death. Then we speak of the Devils. Swerve with a sit-down interview with JR. And so TJR actually had some transcripted from, I think, AEW site, so shout out to him, I guess, so because I have that there. So Swerve was saying, he said, "I am beyond motivated. Main eventing All In London this year means the world to me. You knock on the door long enough and they don't allow you in, you got to make noise, and if you make enough noise, people will listen finally."
Keep going, I'm just taking off my hoodie. Yeah. Getting hot.
I know what Danielson has left in him. He knows how hard he has to fight, especially against me. Before Danielson even gets to the AEW World Championship, it's about legacy. His legacy is on the line. If I was in the same situation as him and the roles were reversed, would anyone give a damn about me? They shouldn't, so why should I? Do I care about him being father? No. Do I care about him being a husband? Not really. Then JR said this may be the toughest match he has, and Swerve wondered what happens when Danson's arm stops working or his neck seizes on him. And he said, everybody always talks about what they're going to do when they're going to inflict pain on somebody else, but what is he going to do when his body gives out on him? Not only can I beat Danielson at Wembley, but I will be Bryan Danielson at Wembley Stadium, and his legacy belongs to me now. As well.
Yeah, Swerve's super cool, and he wasn't like super babyface here, so I prefer that, right? It would even be better if he were a heel.
I feel like the Killer Instinct kind of came through in the latter part where he was like talking about him,
it
like
did.
His body giving out on him. Like, it sounded a little more like some jabs at Danielson there.
Yeah. So I guess it adds a little bit to the story, and he's super focused, I guess, is what we're taking from this, right? So yeah, it was a good little sit down, and this is the capacity I like JR in, right? So
yeah, I feel like though JR, like his questions weren't super burning. Like,
no, they were not.
I feel like usually he does better with that, but yeah, this is the capacity I like him in for sure. I like what Sora had to say. It sounded a little more killer towards the end, like I said, with the disregard he had for Danielson. And I like when he was talking about the injuries possibly failing him, like he's an old fart or something. Like, so
How dare you?
I like that. Just sucks that Danielson seems to be occupied with a meaningless mini feud for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't understand this.
And that's the thing. Like, you're saying this stuff about Danielson, but he's busy.
I really don't
dealing
understand
with
the choice.
Somebody old, even older.
He's talking about going all in for All In, but then he's not all in because he's feuding with Jarrett.
Taking
or like
matches and
not even feuding with Jarrett, but just like dealing with him right
dividing his focus, like risking injury, wear and tear, whatever.
now. Yeah, like
Yep.
Just seems dumb. Then we get Cassidy and it's FTR teaming with him against Mordos, Roosh, and Roddy Strong.
Super happy to see Roosh and Mordos back on TV again because I love both of them. So.
Agreed. Especially Mordos, just because like I don't know, I feel like Roosh is a little easier to use because like even with the feud with MJF, you can get a little steam going with him. Like because Mordos, I feel like it's a little just because he right now doesn't have anyone to speak for him. He's just got like the bull gimmick kind of going still. So I'm very happy he's here, and just because I think he's super.
He's so
super
fun to watch still.
Roosh was wrestling in a t-shirt for the early portion of the match, which was odd. Heel Squad hit a barrage of corner offense to Cash, then Morris hits a pop-up Samoan drop for 2. Dax with a hot take flurry, big spine buster to Morris, which looked really good. Stick kick to Dax from Roddy, then Morris falls with a twisting senton from the top for 2. Kind of like what Fatu did, but just to a laying down opponent. Or supine is the word.
Nice. Very good.
I only know that because of 2K. They'll say like dive to supine opponent.
Nice.
Cassidy hot take flurry, lightning fast onto a DDT, into a DDT on Mordos. Kind of like the thing they messed up last week, except they did a little better here. It was still like a little slip up on the end there.
Yeah.
But they did it a lot better.
And honestly, when you're going for that much,
it was still impressive how fast it is, yeah. Mordos absolutely checks Cassidy with a spear again. Then also one for Dax. Cash catches him with a really nice scoop power slam. Like just the velocity of Mordos came at him. That just like it results in like some nice power on that. Roosh kicks out at 1 on a beach break, which is surprising. But good for him. There was a pop-up on screen. We're going to get a casino gauntlet match for All In for a guaranteed world title shot, which is odd because I guess Darby just did that with the Royal Rampage, but I guess that's them planning title shots in advance, so I guess that's okay.
Guess, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's sudden death, I want to say.
Who could tell?
How
could you know?
There's no way to know.
Nope.
Spinning tornado from Morris to Cash, like the one through the ropes, just
always looks
Warrior
awesome.
Lands on his feet somehow. Roosh goes for the bull's horns. Cash nails him with the orange punch. Roosh comes back with a shot of his own. Basically, just eats that for lunch. Roosh then the finish comes and he's just slapping the crap out of both FTR guys, just chopping them back and forth for a good 10 seconds or so. Then he eats another orange punch and a shatter machine for the win. Then after the match, the Acclaim's music hits. Dax cuts them off and like they're gonna fight, but then security keep them apart. So there really wasn't much happening there.
And that's on a show I'm not gonna watch, right? That feud.
It's been on Collision some of the bill. Well, we saw. Remember there was the Acclaim promo the other week where Caster was saying best wrestler alive 50 times. I feel like it's building to a 3-way tag.
With who?
Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird because they've been kind of absent.
They have. So very fun trios match, but definitely like a random feel, right? There's no, I don't know. There's not a lot of history.
I do wonder obviously. If like FTR was planned or if like it was actually like there's actually travel issues. Or
I think
like,
so.
Yeah.
Longer than I thought it would be. 17 minutes. I do think the final few minutes were pretty entertaining. I was hoping for a bit more of Mordos and Roosh.
Agreed.
Because FTR got a lot, and I'm not sure why. We haven't really seen them do anything for months, so I don't know if they needed to look good here.
Yeah, it was nice to see them because I feel like we haven't in a while. But
yeah. Then you had the involvement of Bennett and Taven, which they make everything less interesting for me. So it was a random trios match that delivered some pretty fun action. But does anything on this show so far matter? Is anything on this show like changed a feud, started a feud, furthered a feud? Like not really. Sure. I guess. I don't know. Anyways. It was a fun trios match, but again, there wasn't a lot of point
match on the main event.
Not a lot of point to it.
The amazing main event.
Yeah.
Another fun trios match per the usual. Great crop of guys, and one team was the same as last week, but it was as enjoyable, if not better. Not a lot of consequence for sure, but a great group of talent, so I like it. And I wish Mordos got the win again, just because like he still looks solid in this, busting out some crazy stuff. But and his spear looks genuinely devastating, kind of reminiscent of Breaker. I do wish he got more though, and you selfishly just give him a win again, just because that was a nice surprise.
Let the momentum go for this guy.
All about momentum in pro wrestling.
All a bit more important than titles.
It is
momentum.
It is undoubtedly.
Or bracelets with your wife's name.
Or Hall of Fame rings or rankings.
That's right.
Honestly, I'd rather have some good momentum going than be number 5.
Those rankings sure lasted a long time when they brought him back. Hey, like a week, 2 weeks, gone. There's just no good way to do it. So I think get rid of them.
I feel like either that or it's just the time's kind of passed to do it, right?
Right.
Anyways, post-match stuff wasn't much to talk about. I'm interested to see if we're going for all-in tag title match because I feel like it has to be a 3-way. Because if it was just Acclaim versus Bucks by way of the Eliminator win for the Acclaimed, we would know that match already, right? Because there's no reason to prolong that announcement. And then I don't feel that we can have Bucks FTR back-to-back years at All In. I just don't think that's really a good play, in my opinion. Because then the novelty of that once dream match kind of wears off. So I feel like it has to be a 3-way, and we have to confirm that soon. Bucks have been kind of absent from this commotion as well. And where's my Okada?
Where is your Okada? He's been gone for a while, right?
Outrageous. I feel like we haven't seen him since Blood and Guts. I think that's probably
right. Yeah, it feels right.
Which is only a couple weeks, but it feels like forever.
Yes.
Anyways, Patriarchy promo was up next. Cage talks about House of Black, who had a title shot, and then they lost a member. I think Murphy was actually injured for a bit. I know it was also they beat him up, but I think that was like the write-off kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Bang Bang Gang, who'd beat for the titles, Arlington Screwjob. Still stupid. He said he made some calls, and House of Black and Bang Bang Gang will face off on Collision for a title shot All In. He says discipline needs to be kept, and he will be the guest referee.
Why is heel Christian making a match this way? Shouldn't he be like trying to avoid matches, especially like hard matches? I don't know. The Christian we know would be like, hey, both of your teams are really good, so fight each. I don't know.
I guarantee, like, I guess it's like probably he does a screwy finish and like.
Yeah, I guess.
He tries to like screw both of them to get Evan, then we get a 3-way match. I hope at least Bang Bang Gang gets in the card because to hear that theme song blaring over Wembley speakers would be amazing.
And you pointed out that everybody was holding gold except Luchasaurus. Which
yeah, they have the trios belts, and Christian's
Mother
got his,
Wayne had one.
Nick Wayne has his, and then instead of Luchasaurus getting his, it's Shayna Wayne holding it. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And a little nod to like, because like early in the year they were still on fire with the Luchasaurus story, and I feel like they need to pick that back up because the Luchasaurus chants were like going well, and like that was getting traction. Mm-hmm. So I'm personally disappointed that got dropped because that could have been again a good story for them.
Mm-hmm. They can circle back around to it
for sure. It's just I'm disappointed it's kind of been dropped a bit. Then we got a hologram highlight package, which was just standard stuff. I think I've only seen his debut. I didn't.
I think it's a miss for me. This one, like, it's pretty dumb gimmick.
I think it's like
I get that they want to make their own mask guys, right? They want to bring in their own fresh, but like. I don't know. I saw it once. I didn't think it was a good gimmick.
The gimmick's whatever to me. Honestly, to me, he's just another luchador. Like, he doesn't stand out to me.
No.
Like, so I don't have any strong feelings on him either way.
I don't know what the hologram name is referring to.
That he lights up.
He has a vest that lights up?
ELP's lights up more, though.
Holograms light up, I guess? I don't know.
Depends on.
Anyways,
how dark your room is.
It's cool. And then we get another super important match after that.
Camille takes on Jasmine.
Exhibit. What am I on? C or D, Your Honor, at this point now?
Yeah. Double clothesline on takes on one of them. Pump kick to the other. Torture rack bomb to one. Rochambeau to the other. Pins both. Monet talks after. I'm just going to summarize it.
Why is Monet so bad at talking? This was like a rough heel promo even.
Oh, I didn't hate it.
Ugh, I thought she sounded awful.
She was fine. Then Baker comes on the Tron. She's unsuspended, and she's gonna fight Monet.
And Britt sounded light years ahead of Monet. Not super baby facey, but like comfortable speaking as a human being into a microphone.
I'm glad Baker's back, so this feud's not built just by Monet. Decent squash, fine.
They're giving her the Ryback treatment. They need to add more and more and more.
Don't say the Ryback treatment. That's not gonna end well for anybody.
So yeah, it happened. It was fine, I guess. Squash.
It did happen.
I just thought Monet sounded rough.
Danielson Swerve package, previous promo bits and sound bites, so nothing new there. Highlights of a 3-way from Collision that Claudio won, so he gets a shot at Okada. Face to face with him and Okada next week, and I wrote Claudio talking ?
It is the match on Collision, though?
I don't know.
And we just get the face-to-face?
Sorry, which match? The 3-way or the title match?
Claudio and Okada.
I don't know.
Should be a cool match.
Could even be at All In. I don't know.
Yeah, could be if you want to get him on there.
Yeah.
Okada, of course.
The face-to-face, though, yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
I guess that's maybe when we'll get it confirmed.
Yeah.
Then we get Bryan Danielson versus Jeff Jarrett. Anything goes.
Exhibit Q, wherever I'm at now.
More like
This show was like unnecessary.
More like Exhibit. Why is this a thing?
Nothing on this show mattered. It was annoying. Anyways.
Ricky Steamboat gets Enforcer. Why is he on commentary?
Is it right? What are you enforcing in a no DQ match?
What are you enforcing from commentary?
There's no holds barred. Like what's he enforcing? I don't know. And he didn't anyways. He didn't do anything. So it's fine.
Honestly, just say he was on commentary and I would not complain because I don't care.
Yes.
Jarrett smashed Danielson with a guitar during his entrance. Crowd brawling. Jarrett suplexed Danielson on a trash bin. It was like kind of bendy, so that looked kind of cool.
It looked alright, yeah.
Crowd count punches from Jarrett. Spider superplex from Danielson. Jarrett locks in the figure 4. Danielson grabs a chair, bashes his knees to break it. Stroke on a chair. Jarrett gets into a chair in the corner. Danielson with a chair sits a psycho knee for the win. Now you may be wondering.
That was a nice summary.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fast.
You may be wondering, was the chair the only weapon used? The answer, yes.
And some of Jarrett's chair shots to Danielson's legs were like the softest, gentlest.
There was the one on the outside when he hit him in the back, and he's just kind of like.
This was a very basic no
boring.
DQ, as you pointed out, like one weapon.
Basic crowd brawling and then basic chair offense.
I guess it was fine. I don't care about this story going into it. And Jarrett's sudden face turn and insertion into this Danielson story
Giant miss.
Make sense to me. Incredibly predictable outcome. Decent match, I guess. I don't know.
Honestly, it would have been annoying with Babyface Chair if it had stopped at the Hangman match, but this is just outrageous.
Yeah.
It's almost worse than Babyface Bullet Club Gold. I still wagered that Babyface Bang Bang Gang was worse because I actually like them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want them to be better. Jarrett, I just hate it because I hate him.
And it gets him on TV, so we have to see him.
That is bad. Why aren't Bang Bang Gang on TV? I know Jay White's injured, but
Too many.
I love Juice Robinson. Okay,
bloated roster.
Okay, but you should put Juice Robinson on TV. I feel like that's a golden rule.
Maybe.
I feel like that's just.
Did you talk about Swerve yet?
I'm going to right now.
I don't remember if you did. Sorry.
Well, I guess I'll mention the match since you did, but I understand why when we're building to the main event, world title match on AEW's biggest show of the year, a match that is likely Danielson's last.
Yep.
We're focusing on Jeff Jarrett in any capacity whatsoever, and why this is what Danielson is doing in the run-up. This was lame, basic arena brawling, and then basic chair-related offense back in the ring. Jarrett is basic and limited, and Danielson in the match suffered as a result. It was bad for a main event, just a bland and boring match. It's a waste of time because it really doesn't benefit the build for All In at all. Swerve is a non-factor in this.
Mm-hmm.
Post-match, Swerve comes out, and he talks about how him, Steve Moat, and Jarrett represent TBS, and they've all been champions here, which I assume means on the network and not in AEW.
Yeah, it does.
Because that can't possibly be true. And that's the difference between them and Danielson. He stands between Danielson and the title. He said Danielson is one of the greatest of all time, which is why it'll be big for Swerve to end him and take his legacy. He won't hesitate to take the kill shot. He talks about how Danielson maybe
kill shot. He said it.
And then if this is the damage Jarrett did,
That's
imagine what he'll do. He wants a 2-man match. He challenges you to do a match next week. And Danielson will see why he's the most dangerous man in AEW. I like that. I mean, Swerve Utah's cool.
Not a lot of crowd reaction, I noticed. I feel like there should be more heat. This is like title versus career, basically.
That's something this segment of the feud, like with Jarrett, I mean, is such a waste of time.
Yeah. It kind of like cooled things off a little, maybe, right?
Yeah. No, I think because wasn't there that in-ring segment with where Danielson put his career on the line? That was good. The one with Swerve and Danielson. And then that was actually on the feud.
Detour through Jarrett.
It's such a waste of time.
Mentioned it a few times. Not a fan at all of this particular episode. I don't know what mattered on this. The opener was a good match. We knew how it would end. Then you had a May match that was meaningless, a Keith match that was meaningless, a trios match that was meaningless, and a main event that was meaningless, pretty much, right? So no surprises in any of those either. I'm not sure what of note actually happened on this show. I can't think of anything that moved anything along, really. It just kind of existed. So the opener was really good, and the trios was fun enough that I can keep it above water. I went C-. This is one of my probably least favorite Dynamites if we went back and looked at all my grades. Like, this was just kind of like they threw together matches that did not matter. Opener was great. Everything else was rough, I thought.
I didn't hate it as much. I think there's some stuff I like more.
Good.
So I'm going to go with a C+. It's still not
It's not up to Dynamite
up
standards
there,
for
but
me.
yeah, for sure.
But and even, like I said, it's always I can always count on the in-ring. But at this show, I feel like I couldn't.
I like the opener.
Yes, me too. But one match. Usually we have there was 3 really good matches this week or whatever, right? So a bit of a disappointment for me. Now we will shift gears, stop analyzing wrestling for a bit, and take on a little bit of trivia. It's a segment where I'll challenge Jack with stuff I've chosen on whatever topic I want. We call it Off the Top of His Head. All right, so this week I went back to AI-generated trivia.
Oh, no.
Great American Bash. Did I keep it open? I did. So I said, can you create a list of the 15 greatest WCW, WWE, NXT Great American Bash matches? Provide the year and some of the context surrounding the match. Absolutely was the reply. So I'll start from the bottom. We'll go.
WCW is going to be fuzzy.
Yes,
sure.
but that's okay. He'll do well on the other ones. Great American, if they're right, because who knows,
That's
right?
true. I mean, I will fact check them.
Great American Bash 2019.
That's not, no.
Part of their intense feud, showcased incredible in-ring chemistry and storytelling between the two.
The show did not happen.
So it's an NXT, I think.
Is it like O'Reilly and
No.
Cole?
Ciampa
No.
Gargano.
That's not even...
When was that? Go ahead, correct them. That showcases your knowledge too.
There's no Great American Bash in 2019 because
How dare you?
NXT brought it back in 2020.
Okay.
I think WWE's last one was like 07, 08 or something.
Okay.
And Ciampa and Gargano didn't even have a match that year because that was the year that Ciampa got injured and it was Cole Gargano's feud.
Other than that, great question.
Ciampa Gargano would have been anything in 2018, but that was, yeah, great start.
Great American Bash 2020.
Okay.
NXT Women's Championship match.
I think it was Io and Sasha.
Not according to this. I don't think this is right. Baszler, Mia Yim.
No, because Baszler wasn't even champion by that
It says
point.
Baszler defended the NXT Women's Championship against Yim in a match that highlighted Baszler's dominance and Yim's resilience.
Baszler and Yim was at TakeOver Toronto when we went.
Nice.
Great American Bash 2020.
So
I'll
this is
check
doing
it.
terrible.
I think it was.
Don't look yet because the next one's from the same year.
Okay. I'm just gonna say then. I'm pretty sure it was Baszler and Sasha had a match.
Okay.
Or Monet, I guess. However, I don't even know if it was a title match. I don't think it was because I think that was in like her and Bailey's peak COVID run.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So the next one is same
But it might have been a title
2020. It's saying double title match.
Lee and Cole.
Yeah, was that right?
That one's actually right.
Hey, nice.
Because remember that's when Keith Lee became double champion. Okay, so then
don't go yet. The next one's saying 2020 as well, which I'm
Okay.
guessing is wrong.
okay, Io and Sasha wasn't a title match. I was right.
So this one is 2020 as
I
well.
didn't look at too much.
Defended the NXT Championship in a high stakes match.
That's already wrong then because we just talked about the NXT title.
And
match.
they have Cole in it again. So they're saying Cole Gargano the same year that it was Cole.
It was a
Keith
2-week
Lee.
event, but that's not accurate
So they were close.
because on the same night where it was Lee and Cole, Gargano beat Swerve.
So now we shift into WWE/F. So we'll see. And then I think we end with WCW.
It would not be F at least. It would just be WWE because I'm pretty sure they started doing the bash again in Ruthless Aggression era.
1999.
No.
Notable for featuring two of wrestling
Is this saying WWE?
biggest stars. Yes.
Then no, because it would still be WCW's at this point.
Saying it wasn't a title match. It was a key attraction.
Mm-mm. I don't even know. 'Cause-
Undertaker Austin.
No.
Did not
'cause
happen.
I guarantee there was a like American Bash 9. Yeah, I won't look at the card. I'm just making sure that was a thing because this was when WCW was still around, so there's
Right.
no way WWE would
They
even
were
be
dead in
able to do the
2000.
show. Yeah, Great American Bash 1999 is an event, but WCW, so that's already off.
All right. Great American Bash 2005. Take that. Culmination of a personal feud fueled by real life events. Intensity and personal stakes added to the drama.
JBL,
No.
Mysterio.
Over a lady was the real life events.
Is this is the one where Kurt Angle won that bestiality
No,
with?
they're
Sherman
saying
Allen?
Edge and Matt Hardy,
Maybe I don't even know if that's.
2005.
I should have known that one. That's my bad.
If it's right, I
I
mean,
mean, that's
they haven't
that
done
is
well
the right
so
year
far.
for that feud and that, but
How about 2006 Cruiserweight Championship match?
Gregory Helms,
No.
Chavo,
Again, might not be right.
Chavo,
Yes, and
Ray.
yes.
I don't know if that was the time. Hold on. So you were saying Hardy and Edge for 05. That's not even on the card,
Okay.
so that's not right.
06 Ray Chavo.
And
You got it right. I mean,
I got that's. I guess that's the point. But let's see, because that match could work out. It's just I don't know if it was a title match. I don't see it. No, because you said it was Ray, right?
yeah.
This is the show when he lost the world title to King Booker, and Chavo and the cruiserweight title are absent from the show.
Okay.
There's a 4-way bra and panties match though, just so you know.
Back to 2005.
Okay, so I already forgot the card, so it's fine.
It might not be on there anyways.
That's true.
It's the WWE Championship match.
So I feel like it has to be Cena.
It is part of their ongoing feud.
JBL?
Yes, that's what they're saying.
That does sound right.
I thought that might be. I think the next one might be too.
Oh.
Great American Bash 2008 World Heavyweight Championship.
Sorry, I'm just fact checking 05.
Cena JBL.
Wait. 05? No, it's Batista and JBL. That's weird. All right. Well, that makes sense.
2008 World
2008.
Heavyweight.
I think when that it would have to be in like July, right? That's when they usually do it. So I feel like would Punk be champion right now?
Not according to this, but
Edge,
nope.
Batista.
Yes. I don't know if he was champion or not. It doesn't say who was defending. Batista
Yeah.
versus. I feel like it's not right.
Taker.
No, Jericho.
That does sound like plausible.
Yeah, but and then it's like, nope, it was the year before or after, whatever.
Or it's just like they're not even on the card sometimes.
Maybe the WCW went.
Let's see. Batista versus Punk was champion, so I got that right because that was my instinct. Him versus Batista was challenging, double DQ, and Jericho beat Michaels. So
maybe we're not going to be replaced by AI real quick. I don't feel like. All right, we're into WCW now. Great American Bash 1998. Notable for one man's rise to prominence.
Goldberg?
Yes. Defeating someone for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Hogan?
Yes, maybe.
That's not right. Because he beat Hogan for the title on Nitro.
Okay.
So, I mean, that match could have happened, but it definitely wasn't a title change, at least. So, I will look at that. 98?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, ChatGPT is...
I do enjoy it, though. I, enjoyed the WWE ones where they're so wrong, it's not even remotely true.
Right.
Hogan and Bret Hart beat Roddy Piper and Randy Savage by submission, and Goldberg is not here.
Good work.
That doesn't... Was the main event Sting versus the Giant for... It's a singles match for control of the tag titles. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
That's WCW, man.
1994, high-profile match, WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Hogan.
Yes?
Flair.
Yes.
That does sound
maybe.
right, because that was the year... that might have even been Hogan's
Now
first
this quick
match.
trivia segment is an hour because we have to check everything.
I'll just start going. I'm going to
1992, the WCW World Championship against a monster.
Hogan with Shaquille O'Neal and Mr. T.
Was Flair?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
they
it
got
is
one
right. Okay. Sorry, 92. And then
World Heavyweight Championship, someone defending against a monster.
Vader
Yes?
and Ron Simmons.
Who? Ron Simmons? No.
He was champion in this year, so.
No.
Although he won a Thanksgiving raffle, so I guess it was later in the year.
A legend.
Luger.
No.
Barry Windham.
Legend in many companies.
Really? Not Barry Windham?
No.
Including
AEW.
Flair would be gone right now. Arn Anderson.
Stang. Maybe. It's right.
Stink.
Bash 89.
89.
Legendary performers and legendary, they always had a million matches against each other.
Dusty and...
One of them recently on AEW.
Flair and Sting.
Flair and?
Sting.
No.
Dusty.
No. Think Enforcers.
Arn.
No. think who was just the enforcer? Steamboat.
Oh,
on, man.
I thought, see, when you said enforcer, I thought you meant for factions. Sorry, 92 was the Vader and Sting, right?
Yep.
That is correct.
And Flair
I won't even
Steamboat
bother
89.
with the 89.
So 96, legendary tag team match.
Diners and someone?
No, but that big or bigger.
Road Warriors and someone?
Yes, and who else would be huge?
Arn and Tully.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Nailed
Horsemen.
it.
If it happened.
Great American Bash 96. Keep going.
Last one, 85. Headlined by a classic showdown between two of wrestling's biggest stars.
I don't even see Road Warriors. Oh, Steiners for Fire and Ice. I don't see that match on there.
Probably not.
So I guess the wrong match. Awesome. Okay. 85.
Yep. Two of the biggest stars.
Dusty.
Yes.
And Flair.
Yes. Maybe. Yes.
I know they had a match with Starrcade that year. We're just going to assume that's right for time's sake.
Yes. That's crazy. That was, I should have fact checked.
Let's assume it's wrong because
I think it probably was. 85 could be right. Anyways, good job. You did better than AI did, I think, on that. So
what's new?
We'll shift gears back into the next segment where we summarize notable stuff from the week. Whatever we watched, we call it Highspots and Restholds. All right, so I'm going to start with Raw, and I think you're probably aware of some of the stuff that happened.
Some of it, I think I have a couple things written down.
Oh, nice. So chime in whenever you feel like it. Show opens with Gunther coming out to speak for the first time as the champion, and notable is Kaiser is back. Bartel is back to introduce him, which is always cool. Still sounds good. Basically, he said, like, Gunther's saying he'll do for this belt what he did for the IC. He will never be caught off guard, sort of thing. He's always ready. Orton's music hits. He comes down, congratulates Gunther, and Gunther actually says, like, you did catch me off guard with that, like you showing up sort of thing.
Because he's on SmackDown.
Right. So he says Orton's saying that when he lost to Gunther at Money in the Bank, Orton's shoulders weren't down, which I actually do remember that. So Triple H thinks the world needs the Gunther Orton sequel. And he says Gunther considers himself a living legend, and that's perfect because Orton has made a career out of killing legends. I like this choice here. Gunther is fine with the match and considers the Money in the Bank controversy a stain on his record. He says if Orton's voices think Orton can beat Gunther, then his voices are wrong. Gunther accepts the match and they shake hands. Gunther leans in, like they're almost nose to nose, and says that nothing catches him off guard. And I thought Orton's reply was good. He says, that's okay because I want you to see it coming, right? So I actually thought this was a really good interaction, despite it creating a match that I'm not interested in. I'm just not an Orton guy in 2024, or probably since 2015
At
or
least
something.
since 2016, because that's when I started watching. I still think you said the same thing.
Yes. Clearly a quality defense for Gunther, obviously, and the match should probably be pretty good.
I would have hoped for a more exciting match for Gunther in Germany, but...
Yes. But I am happy that Gunther, even though he's a heel, or what I think he's a heel, is doing the, like, I'll take any match, because his thing is he just believes he's better than everybody.
Yeah, it's not like he's... Well,
right?
He kind of is a fighting champion, but just because he's better.
And the fact that he's kind of a dick about that belief is what makes him a heel. Right?
Yeah, because he's kind of like MJF, where he's like, I'm better than you, but he takes the opposite route, where instead of MJF, like, of ducking challenges, he's like...
And I'm here to elevate wrestling. Like, I love this sport and respect it, and I'm the best.
It's kind of like how, Danielson was a heel, even though he's, like, trying to help the planet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Kaiser and Sheamus had a good competitive match that felt... It was only listed at 15 minutes. I thought it felt longer than that. Sheamus won with his knee and brogue kick.
Done.
And yes, Dunn tried to get involved again, but Sheamus avoided the shillelagh attack, took Dunn out with a knee to the face. Good physical match. I think it's worthy of being another banger in Sheamus's banger collection. I'm not surprised he won, right? He's in a current program and needed momentum. So
yeah, that's fine.
That made sense. There's a montage of like the original Wyatts, the version I really liked. So we get lots of Brody Lee footage, which I thought was notable. And then just when you see the three of them, right, it's so crazy to think that Rowan is the last surviving member of that.
Like literally
three,
surviving,
like young dudes, man. Like that's crazy.
It is. I feel
which
bad
again made
him.
his Wyatt 6
just
vignette incredible. Right?
Yeah, it is crazy. Like he's And because like Strowman wasn't there in the beginning, right? So like of the original 3, the fact that he's the only one like actually alive is super crazy because I don't think anyone would have expected that a decade ago.
No, it's wild. So Damian Priest comes out. So I thought he sounded good. I told you that. He was giving me Roman Reigns vibes a bit. But some of the stuff they wrote for him, because this was clearly him coming out and being like, I love the fans. I love the fans.
That's also kind of what plagued Roman, right? As they wrote a lot of crap for him, like the Suffer and Succotash.
And he's like, I'm not even mad about losing the title. I can win the title again. What I'm mad about is disappointing the fans or whatever. And I was like, this is a very, like, of course you've been leaning babyface, but now this is like full on.
And again, make it black and white kind of deal.
Scripting problems, maybe. I thought his delivery was quite good. He says he wants Balor to come out, right? Balor shows up on the Tron instead. And again, I like the heel motivation here. He says that Judgment Day was supposed to be about equality with no real leader. And then...
Which is why they booted Edge out, right?
Yeah, and then Priest went and won the title and everything changed and he was basically acting as the leader. Balor mentions that a year ago he almost became champion and then he like showed a picture of Priest standing at ringside.
Remember?
No.
Last year...
If anytime you say that, the answer is almost invariably
Balor had the
no.
feud with Rollins and... Remember, that was when Priest had just won Money in the Bank, and they were always arguing, and Priest was kind of like inadvertently costing him. And
okay.
It ended up, I think, coming into play at SummerSlam because last year Rollins defending against Balor.
And WWE loves printing out pictures of things in 2024.
And that was the one where Rollins had like the vest, and like remember they were making nods to the match where Balor got injured, and so like that was when Priest and Balor had a lot of. They were arguing a lot because Priest had the briefcase, and that was when McDonough was also worming his way in, and he gave Priest the custom case and stuff like that.
So Balor says he waited a year to screw Priest over.
Pretty much, because SummerSlam to SummerSlam, right?
And that basically he won't fight Priest tonight. McDonough can do that. And Balor, he's basically like, I will wait to attack you from behind. And it was almost like the Garrett from Superstore.
Yeah, when he's
basically like, even when you want to call it off,
I'll still do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's basically like, no, I'm going to wait until you basically forget about me and I'm going to attack you from behind for sure.
Which was later in the show, but whatever.
Yeah, but I thought it was cool. And then we see sort of they fill in the rest of them, right?
The new Judgment Day.
So Liv instead of Rhea and everybody else still in it as a unit. So I thought that was cool that they're going to keep going too. I like Balor's tone. I thought his reasoning kind of makes sense, right? Like Priest did kind of feel like the leader of the group, and that was not the plan. And Rhea and Priest are out. The other members, I'm hoping they can level up, other than maybe Carlito, because I'm kind of done with him too. But like everybody else needs to jump up. It's like when somebody gets hurt on a sports team, right? If the best player gets hurt, everybody else has to pick up a little bit more.
Have McDonough gun for breaker or something.
Yes. Lyra beat Baszler by DQ when the other two got involved. Super boring story that never really goes anywhere. It feels like the same thing, basically.
Well, when Damage Control randomly babyface, I feel like we're not really cooking with gas.
Post-match attack, Damage Control, now babyfaces make the save, and it just feels repetitive at this point. Gable tells Maxine she can keep the Alpha Academy name, and I texted you because you were at work that they had a segment where Maxine and Ivy Nile had to interact, and I think my thing was not sure.
They were teaming for a while.
I was like, not sure who gets the Emmy because they're both amazing. It was...
I'd love to see
I am not convinced that Maxine is a real person. I think she's like she's like a animatronic doll or something.
I would love to see her interact with Lonnie because Lonnie's acting is so...
I think there's a 13% chance that Maxine is not a real person. I think that is quite possible.
I'm going to need to like meet her just to like confirm.
I put my notes as I'm not sure who is a less natural speaker than Maxine. For bolstering my theory, she's not a human being. She's like a created doll. Anyways.
She's Vince's attempt to like see if he can make a synthetic wrestler or something. You know what
I think so. Punk speaks in the ring. It's basically Summer of Hate hasn't gone as planned, but the summer isn't over. He still wants Drew. Rollins comes out and says after 10 long years, he'll get to put Punk in the dirt. Drew interrupts from the crowd and says that he is the best in the world and Rollins and Punk should be looking at him and not at each other, which I liked. He shows the bracelet, and of course, Punk has to drop everything and chase after him. So I guess there's still meat on this bone, right? And I imagine things won't end until Punk gets the bracelet back, right? So we know that this story is going to continue.
Bracelet on a pole.
Yeah. Rollins feels a bit lost in the middle, but that's going to sort itself out right after this. But the chemistry of these three in promos is pretty evident. Like, they have some good back and forth.
Except for Punk.
So then, as that segment is ending, Bronson Reed comes in. So I don't think I mentioned it because I didn't think it was notable at the time. But earlier in the show, I think he's annoyed because Sheamus got a match this week and Reed beat Sheamus last week. So he's like, why the hell's that guy on TV and I'm not? So I think this is kind of him taking it into his own hands. So he comes out and absolutely kills Seth Rollins. Like, I'm talking like people in this crowd screaming like before they knew it was kayfabe. Or before they knew it, like it was all fake, right? Like people screaming upset. The crowd was amazing. So basically, like I think it was 6 tsunamis, and it's like authorities are there trying to stop them. Like, but like, what are you gonna do once you jump?
Yeah, like it's like they're all like huddled around stuff, like trying to like check on him and get Reed to go away. And then it's like this like big hoss of a man is coming flying through there and like jumps and up. They all just like scatter, and it's like it's so funny, but like. I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to lay on Rollins for him. That's just going to make it worse.
So Rollins is on the mat coughing up blood. We get updates later that are like, the reports are he may have internal bleeding. Like, well, no, we watched him cough up blood on the mat. Like, he probably does.
I saw this as a write-off for him to take a hiatus, so that makes sense because that was nasty.
So, I mean, Reed looked like an absolute monster here. And whenever Rollins does come back, you've got a built-in little program there.
And that's a big spot for Reed because Rollins is like a made guy.
I thought this made Reed look awesome. Like, he was just unstoppable. And his tsunami looks like it hurts, man. So
I like the tsunami, yeah.
What it just looks like crazy. I know it's simple and whatever, but it would kill you.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really, really good spot.
If Jax could do that move, I would say that because it's simple like the bonsai, but it's just better.
Yes. So Xavier Woods hit an inside cradle on Razor to beat AOP. And then pretty standard stuff. AOP's dominant. Kofi was facing peril. Woods got a hot tag. And then like a guy that's a jobber and has done nothing, right? And it has just been gone.
He's never been on TV.
Odyssey Jones shows up.
And Rex.
Takes out everybody. So a guy who's nothing and nobody took out the entire faction. I will say...
have any established...
Did you see the double side slam? That was pretty impressive.
That's pretty crazy.
To AOP. So...
I'd never liked him, though.
Then he hits a black hole slam to Cross. That looked okay, too. But, like, again, this guy is nobody, and he just wiped out this entire, like, killer faction, right? And it's been a brutal story along the way.
Gone on his ass.
So WWE is a company of telling stories, like we said, and they do many well. But when they don't, matches like this don't mean anything.
I fear,
and I struggle to pay attention.
This is their soft attempt to kind of replace Big E.
I think so too,
and I don't like that.
What? So let me ask you: he's big like Big E. What else does he have in common with New Day that WWE tends to really consider?
Well,
does he like video games? Is that it?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh,
and plus,
he's a cereal connoisseur.
Right. Oh, he's black, so put them together.
There it is.
And also, what was funny too,
he's just not as talented as Big E. Like,
is Cross's group is this big, scary, whatever, and this is like this bitter feud, and then the New Day guys come out in like Ninja Turtle
because they have the figures.
So it's like this is such a serious situation. Hey, they're now like cross promoting their Ninja Turtle stuff.
Yeah, because there's figures coming out.
That was funny.
That is kind of funny.
And then in a segment a bit later, I think Kofi talks about meeting Odyssey Jones in NXT when he was rehabbing or something. And so he's explaining their relationship.
Don't try to pretend there's history.
And you can see Woods is kind of like not fully on board with whatever their relationship is.
I wouldn't be either because Odyssey Jones sucks. But here's the thing. I would rather deal with Odyssey Jones than join Karrion Kross. So that's my stance in the dilemma.
Fair enough. Because we have to have every team and faction have tension. R-Truth made an ill-advised blind tag and then accidentally took out Miz as they faced A-Town Down Under.
I feel like Miz has no right to get angry about that and turn on him because he chose to team with R-Truth from the beginning.
And that's what you're going to get.
So he should have known, like, has Truth not been an idiot the whole time? Like,
Joe Negron says that Miz has to turn heel because he's one of Cena's opponents.
Yeah.
when Cena comes back.
That makes sense.
And he usually knows stuff.
That makes sense.
So this was a throwaway TV match that no one could possibly care about.
I really couldn't care less. I'm sure people will be sad when he turns on Truth, but I don't care. Honestly,
I will not
I
react.
didn't wager that this whole thing was a mistake because the team sucks and Miz as a babyface has never been a good idea in the history of man.
Right.
So why?
Exactly.
And again, these are the two teams who won at WrestleMania.
Right.
Out of a ladder match that also had DIY and British Strong Style. I want you to remember that these are the two teams who won.
Yep. Braun Breaker says in an interview, no one will be able to take his name off the IC title. Everyone's on notice.
They can take his side plates off, though, so they could literally take his name off.
The title was made for him, etc. I thought he sounded good. He's a confident heel champion, kind of like Gunther, right? Where I'm just a badass and you can't beat me, sort of thing. Damian Priest beat McDonough in 10 minutes. I thought a good TV match.
I thought you were going to talk about his promo, too, because I really like that.
Priest, talk about that. I don't think I even mentioned it.
Yeah, I liked it because he had
Me too.
a promo in a dark room with the purple light. He was talking about how Priest didn't see. He said, you really didn't see the train coming off the track or something. Or
and
coming
you
off
never
the track.
wanted me in this group,
yeah, it
and
was
now
like,
I'm in it with a gold and you got nothing.
McDonough, Priest never wanted him in there. And I liked it because he was like, Balor would listen to me over you.
That's right.
Like playing off the history there. So I like that. And he's in the Judgment Day. Now he has the title and Priest isn't, and he has nothing. So I thought he sounded great, and I enjoy any spotlight for him because I think McDonough's awesome, and I don't like him because you were saying he's great at selling. I think
he's so good.
That's part of why he's the fall
Correct.
man, because he's gonna make it look good.
Correct.
And he does. But
Priest,
it's a blessing and a curse.
Priest carried over his aggressive style here, and McDonough sold like hell. He had a couple nice stretches. I sent you a little sequence he had.
The falling headbutt and the moonsault.
And then,
no, because his head's so big and it must hurt so much.
They can't not make comments about his head.
That's what pisses me off, because it's just discounting him so much.
And you don't take things people can't help, and in life, you don't insult people for things they can't. And
I'm gonna be honest, I literally and I've loved Devlin for McDonough for years. Never once did I think, his head's too big.
Oh, it's for sure. I've noticed.
I've never thought of it.
If you look at the ratio of his shoulder width to his head width, it shouldn't be that way.
I've never noticed this being overly excessive. It's not like Chad Gable where they made fun of him being short, and I'm like, yeah, he's short. To me,
he's a pop vinyl, basically.
Yeah, but if they had never started making that very joke, I never would have thought anything of it though. I never
them in there. They can't help themselves.
And you know what's even worse is that they're making jokes about this, and Pat McAfee's on commentary. You really think it's not going to go overboard?
Right. And it's like he does a headbutt. It's like that's getting hit with a fridge or something.
It's so dumb. And he does have a good headbutt, but come on, man.
So Priest disposed of Carlito, but Balor attacked Priest from behind like he said he would. So Priest wins by DQ. Rhea Ripley comes out after the match to try and get at Liv and Dom. Dom saves Liv from going through a table, and they escape. And then so that leaves McDonough sort of at the
mother
mercy.
Of all choke
Took
slams.
a really big south of heaven.
Crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, McDonough makes it look good.
Gacy gets his Wyatt 6 profile, and it was unfortunately another generic, cryptic, meaningless one.
Though they won't match Rowan, I feel like there's such a missed opportunity considering that all these people come from family-like factions.
I'm getting nervous because they're starting to do the he believes he is Huskus the Pig.
That was so annoying in the match. Oh my god. Because that's not it.
One of the other ones believe there's something too.
Loomis believes he's Mercy the Buzzard. And then I was like, well, Rowan must believe he's a rabbit.
It's
so dumb because that's not what it is.
That's leading them down a path that I'm not going to be a fan of.
And obviously. I feel like they did such a good job of establishing that not to be the case.
Yes.
By having them be real people and having them keep their names and they're unmasked.
Yes.
All of that establishes that they are normal people who have just lost their way.
However, we'll talk about the match in a minute because coming up, they kept that normal, which I was happy about. That was true. The only other thing before I get to that is Gable and the Creeds have a new stable name, which is
American Made.
American Made. So whatever.
Team Gable, American Alpha, Alpha Academy, something else. I just don't like American
the new program your brother's playing for is called Alpha Elite.
Do that.
Right.
Even that's better.
Right.
I just think American Made's A, lame, B, Hulk Hogan phrase, C, lame Hulk Hogan phrase.
Yeah. Then the main event is the Wyatt 6, so Rowan, Loomis,
new
Gacy.
theme for Chad Gable. So that's neat.
With Howdy and Abby sort of at the ramp versus American Made. So Gable, Creed, and Creed.
And they came out to Bray Wyatt's theme, so that was a nice touch. I like them keeping that.
Rowan with the claw slam. Gacy powerbombs Loomis onto Gable. Loomis splash off the top.
Yeah, I like
for the win.
Rowan with it's like a choke slam but with the iron claw. So I think that's kind of a cool variation. He was doing that back in his solo run. We had the tarantula.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there you go. There's
that
a
was
good
some
pull
wrestle
for ya.
crap right there. So 13 minutes.
Didn't
Wyatt's,
Drew chuck that the one time? I think.
I don't know.
Because remember Rowan got bit by it, like when he was
Mhm.
reaching in. I remember the one match Drew faced him, and he just hucked it up the ramp or something.
That was a very Vince thing.
It's so Vince.
And like, we don't have to say what's in the cage for months because
But then they actually showed it, and it looks
the
so
worst.
stupid.
It was the worst.
It was
fake
like,
spider.
honestly, in the Impractical Joker's punishment, when Q's getting tortured by the tarantulas, and the first thing they do is like wheel up the remote control. They
went to like the Halloween store and grabbed one from there,
like an animatronic.
So the Wyatts pose as a group as the show goes off the air.
I saw something of like Rowan and Dallas, like obviously in the howdy get up, like they were like hugging, like pointing up after that, like after they went off the air, and so that was cute. Like I feel for them.
I think it was a solid in-ring debut for the group.
I think they look like solid because none of them are generals,
and it was more like they're aggressive and violent, not magical, and that's what I want, right?
Absolutely.
The entrance, the look are really cool, so I just hope they can deliver in the ring going forward. So I thought a solid debut.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm not one who loves everything Wyatt's. Right?
Yeah, Rowan was a decent hot tag too. Like I think they kept his involvement appropriate based on his talents.
So I thought a good debut. NXT next. It's Great American Bash Week 2. You definitely watched some of it. I know you watched the opener.
I watched the whole opener because I think I just found the whole thing on YouTube, which was odd.
Trick Williams taking on Pete Dunne. So Dunne is targeting Trick's arm and fingers, as he tends to do. He kicks out of Trick's big boot. The crowd is pretty into the match down the stretch here. Dunne stomps Trick's head, but Trick is defiant and fires up. Trick knee misses. Bitter end. And Dunne wins in 13 minutes.
I was very pleasantly surprised.
Very pleasantly surprised. I thought it was a good match.
I thought it was pretty solid.
Dunne does what he does, and Trick's trying to keep up with him and mostly doing a good job. Trick isn't quite there in the ring. I feel like there's like a ceiling on his matches, right? They're never going to be better than like 3.5 stars unless maybe like Dragunov drags him to something better or something. And I feel like the character's worn off a bit too. Like there's massive potential there still, but something needs to, he's like plateaued, I guess is the best way to put it maybe. I don't know. Really nice to see Dunne getting momentum. Since Trick doesn't lose very often.
I still fear he'll lose later on because I don't think it's a one and done. But I'm really happy he got a win here. He had new ring gear and like I like having the bird.
And it was a clean win too, which I thought was nice.
Yeah, simple. So I'm very happy with that.
And Dunne talked about his win later, saying he's ready to challenge for the NXT title. But then Trick runs in and attacks him, and they brawl.
That's also what makes me think it's not.
So they're not done, right?
That's usually an indicator.
And it's weird. The babyface loses clean and then attacks the heel after.
He's figuring it out.
He's developing his edge, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Lexus King is playing rock music because we keep cutting backstage to like the barbecue party thing for Great American Bash, right? So Lexus King is playing rock music and everyone hates it, which I thought was a bit offensive, but
yeah, it's odd.
They wanted Eddie Thorpe to handle the music, but since King broke Thorpe's hand, he can't. But Thorpe shows up and Hank and Tank get him to leave because they're like, we don't want any fighting at our party, and they're hosting the party. Stone and Stevie Turner walk by and get into a wing eating contest. So I said, I guess this is harmless fun. I don't really have much to say. It got a bunch of people on TV, and it's kind of NXT's fun stuff, typical. I guess. Fraser teases Ethan Page about getting pinned so much by Oro Mensah. Page thinks Fraser should worry more about where his partner is, and then Fraser realizes, where is Axiom? And I don't mean to be rude to Fraser, but this is another mid-card interaction for your champion. Like, everybody in his orbit.
At least Fraser's good, though.
And has a belt, I guess.
Yeah.
Tatum Paxley, Kalani Jordan for the North American Championship match. This one under-delivered for me a bit. Lonnie does some tumbling early, of course. Paxley gets distracted and is staring at the belt at ringside. Surprisingly, we had dueling Tatum and Lonnie chants, so Tatum has some followers.
That doesn't seem like something that would happen.
Kalani hits her tornado to the floor that looks good. Paxley goes under the ring, and when Jordan goes to try and find her, like lifts up the apron, there's a doll that looks like Lonnie sitting there. So Lonnie's distracted by it, picks it up for a minute, and then Paxley attacks from behind and takes control of the action. Wendy Chu slowly walks down the ramp, picks up the doll. Lonnie tweaks her knee as selling that, hinders her tumbling at one point. Paxley hits a 450 for a near fall. Top rope Spanish fly by Jordan and a frog splash. So different finisher. She wins.
I thought she would go
in
for
about 10 minutes. I think it was because she was selling the leg hurt. I don't know that she didn't do the moonsault. Bit of a mixed bag. Some decent action. Some clunkiness along the way. Crowd was pretty quiet until near the end of this. I was hoping for a better showing for Paxley, to be honest. Chu and Paxley seem like they're kind of united after, and then Chu just takes Paxley out quickly and stares down Jordan. So looks like that's the next defense for Kalani Jordan. No Quarter Catch crew are in the little kitchen there that's at the facility. Dempsey tells Ren Sinclair that Tavion Heights is in Japan, and Ren Sinclair's kind of like assumes that, sure, in Japan, right? Like he made mistakes and lost matches, so you guys killed him, basically, right? Which he's kind of funny. So Ren wants in the group if she can beat Layla Gray tonight, and Dempsey says no.
Whoa, Layla Gray?
Layla Gray, or what's her name?
Kendall.
Of Bright Gray.
Yeah.
So
Layla Gray's the themed baddie from AEW.
Right. Charlie says no. Tony D walks by and says that if Ren can win tonight, he'll give Dempsey a shot at the Heritage Cup. And Ren's kind of like, well, I don't know if I'm feeling up to it. Maybe I'm tired and maybe I'll lose, trying to manipulate Dempsey into being like, fine, if you win, you can join the group and Dempsey will get his cup shot. So don't worry. They did have Bourne work in a joke about not being able to hear. Because Sinclair said something like, what? And she's like, you can't hear him either? Something like that.
That just feels mean, like a little mean-spirited.
And No Quarter Catch crew just can't get away from Tony D. But I would love if the cup went back to Dempsey and then let's go our separate
why? Because
ways.
it actually fits him? That's
Reset
weird.
it, yes. So we do get an NXT championship match here. It's Oro Mensah dominating Ethan Page. So you can already tell I'm annoyed. Because I would say he got like 85% of this match.
You know, famed main eventer, top guy, title holder, Oro Mensah.
Right. So he's in control, and then he was doing some sort of flipping thing, and Page got him with an anti-air boot right to the face that while Mensah was upside down, that looked good. Mensah does some crazy flipping kick in the corner, and then my notes say, why is Mensah dominating almost this entire match? Page throws Mensah onto a picnic table and puts him through it with the ego's edge, and the Vic lets us know that it's the referee's discretion. Mensah with a spinning heel kick in the corner, but Page's foot is under the ropes. I don't even think I wrote what the finish was. But anyways, Ego's Edge, I assume Page won. So Mensah got a lot of this. He looked good, but he hasn't been presented as a guy who can hang with your company's champion. So I think
the only time he had a solo title match before was when he subbed in for Dar. And remember, that's when Fraser won the cup, so he lost the title match for Dar.
And we've never had a problem with Mensah in the right role, but they've elevated him beyond, I guess, because Dar got hurt.
Yeah, they overstretched him.
I hope they do something with the momentum they've created for Mensah, at least. Like, he shouldn't be at this level, but now you're trying to establish him, so keep going, I guess. Solid defense for Page.
You got to try to push him, I guess, to North American or something, right? Like,
yes, and Page needs a signature opponent. So who could it be? Has to be a babyface? Because he needs... So I'm like, Hendry?
But then I feel like Hendry has to win.
I don't think they'll have him win in NXT.
I don't think they'll have him win, but I'm saying based on his popularity, he should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't put him there unless you're going to go all the way, right? So, like, I don't know. Because Trick's out of commission right now. Like, Javon, I don't think is quite there.
I loved the finish when Page won the title, but now it almost feels like
they cursed him.
They're going from there. Like, he didn't. He won by accident, so we'll present him as like a weak champion.
And not like they're trying to build up from that. Like, it's like that's his bar kind of thing, right? Like, I'm actually trying to think of who else is because Wesley. It's not like now you can't. Because I would have thought he would be a babyface you could elevate to that status, but I don't even think you can now, right?
I don't know what babyface.
Tony D.
No,
that's a horrible idea I just had. I'm drawing a blank.
That was me too. So Wesley is really happy to have his Rascal friends here, and I told you I thought.
Wait, are they like brothers though?
Oh yeah, I thought they were hitting that pretty hard. Said he's had dark days in NXT, and that they never lost the tag titles, etc.
Okay, but like, how close are they?
Very close. They let us know many times.
I wasn't sure.
More partying backstage, and the women are not interested in Ashante Theodonis. I don't know who some of these people are. Lola punches the. You didn't know who that was either.
No, I think a lot of them. It's like.
And they put them through a table.
They need bodies for the rooms, right? And
yeah,
a lot of these people either are probably level up ones that aren't notable enough, or they're the ones that haven't made it to TV yet. So it'll be like some of these people will be like ones where like in a couple of years we'll see them on TV doing stuff, and it's like, oh, this was their debut. You know how like there's always like you see some people like Ellie Knight or someone in security, and it's like, oh, this. I
was just gonna say, I bet you if you look closely, you've seen some of these guys as security before,
absolutely,
right? Joe Coffey versus Joe Hendry. This was pretty short. After a few minutes, Hendry messes with the other Gallus and they get thrown out.
He pulls like an Eddie Guerrero kind of maneuver.
With a chair
and he like
the
flops
announce
on the
table.
announce table, yeah.
Right. Standing ovation over in 8 minutes. Standard match.
I feel like he needs a new finisher. It's like a lesser chokeslam.
I don't think he showcased his power as much as he should. In TNA,
I did see
there's
it,
been
like, the
some
fallaway
matches where
slam
it's
or
like,
whatever.
damn, he is really, really strong. And I don't know why they don't want to showcase that, but I didn't feel like they did. Anyways, he's on the mic after saying he's in NXT for a while, right? So we talked about he's living there, he's training there, and he'll fight next week. I think he's basically going to fight whoever shows up. So it's kind of like open challenge deal. Chase, you have a new classroom thanks to Ridge Holland. No explanation, I don't think, of how that took place.
Maybe he's Rich Holland.
Thea and Duke Hudson are sulking about not winning their title matches. Holland gives them a pep talk about winning gold. Chase U gets a tag title match, and then there's a bit of confusion because Holland's like, sorry, it's not Duke Hudson this time. It's going to be Chase and Ridge Holland. And so obviously Duke's the odd man out now. And we're slow burning
There's no way they're winning that.
So it's just slow burn. And there was really like odd music playing underneath this segment. Feels like Chase and Holland kind of have to win the titles, no, to further this story?
I feel like you could make the argument that it would get further if they lose as well. Like either,
but I think if you're gonna
Duke
have
and
Hudson
Thea
break out,
get involved, or like maybe they accidentally cost them, or like Ridge messes up in that or something.
They've also had Axiom accidentally kicking Fraser multiple times.
Fraser
in matches too,
or
vice versa or whatever.
They've done both. Cause I'm pretty sure wasn't it Fraser kicked Axiom at Heatwave, and then I know it was the opposite
this week. Yeah,
I just don't want for Axiom to lose the titles because I think they're awesome.
More Great American Bash barbecue footage. Jensen is angry. Like Spears is trying to mentor him, and Jensen's just an angry young man, right? So he's struggling to sort of deal with Spears. Perez is mean to a bunch of women. So Stone, covered in wing sauce, says every woman that Perez hasn't faced will have a multi-women's match.
Probably another battle royal or something.
So because he and Turner are still competing for Ava's attention, Turner like slaps him
like
and
adults.
Then goes to tell Ava the idea first because we're children again. Good brothers show up and complain about the food. Hank and Tank attack them and they brawl.
Oh, good. Cool. I was worried you were going to be without them for too long.
Right. Ren Sinclair versus Kendall Gray of Bright Gray. I told you, like, I'm so committed to the bit now. It's in my notes of Bright Gray. Ren wins in 4 minutes as expected to get Dempsey his shot and to join the group.
Now you do a big like multi-person tag between them and the family at some point, since now that Quarters officially got a female member.
Got the woman. Sinclair was transitioning between submissions, I guess, to impress No Quarter Catch crew. Gray did hit her overhead belly to belly, along with a really snappy arm drag. Bourne goes after Gray, but trips over Bright on the outside. Bourne distraction. Dempsey almost helps Sinclair cheat. Sinclair finisher. I think it was like a headlock driver. 4 minutes. Done.
OG Dirty Deeds.
That's right. Continuation of Javon Evans' story, which I thought was really interesting last week, and it was good again this week.
I did end up watching that vignette you sent me just because it was accidentally on TV. It was good. I liked it.
So he basically says, he was really young. People wanted him to go to college, but then he signed with NXT. And he talks about meeting Matt Bloom in 2013 when he was a kid, and they even show a picture of it. And now Bloom is his coach, and it's funny because he's like, he refers to him as Tensai. And he said when he was a little kid and he met him, he asked him how he got the tattoos off his face. And then he's honestly sounds like he's a little worried about, he's going to kill me in training for bringing up Tensai. Like he's worried about it, right? So he says he'll grow up in front of our eyes, so we should all go along with him. And again, I think this guy's just really engaging with a unique promo style. And he's pretty close to a can't miss star for this company, I think, going forward.
I don't know how they found him because he's like actually cool.
He is cool. The main event, it's MSK taking on Axiom and Fraser for the tag team championships. You watch this because chances of this being a really good match were high, right? So It's MSK in control of Fraser early, including the so stupid Infinite Bronco Busters that Wentz has now decided is a spot for him.
Excessive.
Axiom tags in, takes control. Fraser dived to the floor. Axiom moonsault to the floor. We lose 3 minutes of action due to a commercial because I knew this match wasn't going to be super long based on the time. So losing like a quarter of the match kind of sucks. Nice Wentz boot to flipping Fraser's face. I think you said it was a la Cole Gargano. They tried to do that spot.
Super kick. Cole Ricochet, actually. Okay.
Sorry, Cole Ricochet. Leon fire against Axiom with a barrage of offense. Spanish Fly, Phoenix Splash combo by the champs for a near fall. Axiom accidentally kicks Fraser, leads to an MSK near fall. Hot Fire Flame for a near fall.
Which I think is a cool move because like they've always done that, but bad finisher.
Not the best. Fraser Superplex and Chasing the Dragon to Wes Lee for 2. Golden Ratio to Lee. And Wentz
smacked him in the face.
Wentz is late making the save.
I was wondering if it was because Wesley kicked out of the tag finisher. I was wondering if he was supposed to because like they did the spot where he kicked out of the Chasing the Dragon, right? And Wentz almost got to save him, but he didn't have to. But then it was like Golden Ratio and Wentz almost saved him again and didn't. So it was like weird that he, you know what I mean, fell back down. And like, so I was a little confused by that.
The other two, very good, I thought, 11-minute TV tag match.
I enjoyed
as
it.
expected.
It was a nice sprint.
Crazy pace, lots of double teaming and near falls. Quality win for Axiom and Fraser, who continue to win despite these issues and kicking each other in the face from time to time. The other two hug Wesley after the match, and he being Wesley, super kicks Trey Miguel.
Which I thought looked really good.
Low blows Wentz.
Also good.
And then takes them both out on the floor.
Also looked very good.
Yeah, I thought
the heel turn looked super effective.
Yeah, and I was suspicious, like I told you, there was so much suddenly, like they're so tight and they're like family
you're
and
dumb,
blah, blah, blah.
They need to bash you over the head.
Right. And I think Wesley needs to try something new, and the angle seems to be that he was left alone to suffer in NXT, right? So,
and he kind of got a big ass title run by himself. Whereas their tag title efforts kind of fizzled out, right?
I wonder if his style is going to lend to heelness.
You said the same thing about Pac.
I did, and Pac's amazing. I'm all for Lee trying something new, so go for it. I
think he's already like pretty fleshed out and accomplished. So like, if it's developmental, I think it does. This is the only thing he really hasn't.
It's that classic, like we always say, like there's nothing else to do other than flip them, like Fallon Henley, right? Like she needs to try a run as a heel.
Exactly.
So yeah, I thought it was a good main event. At least the show ended with something memorable, so we'll see how that goes from there. You wanted to talk about one thing from G1.
Oh yeah, I watched because I heard
amazing
things about it. I watched Takeshita versus ELP from the G1.
Yep.
And I thought it was great. Meltzer awarded 5 stars. I'm not going there, but it was fantastic. Another great one from Takeshita, probably my favorite I've seen so far. I've only watched a couple. I think we watched him, and I think actually might be the only other one I watched was him and Suji, because I don't think I caught the one with Cobb. But the story was ELP struggled to get, like, I think really motivated in the tournament, because he's like the headbanger or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Party
how
guy.
he hasn't been, and he hasn't been like super successful in the tournament this year. Like I think this one was the one risking elimination for him, so I think he's out after this. I want to say because he lost.
Right.
They also played out their history, the brief history, from the Forbidden Door ladder match pretty well with that table spot. Takeshita brought out a table as a nod to that, and eventually resulted in a tombstone through that to ELP. The skinny New Japan tables.
Yep.
Which I always kind of find just really jarring. Not even like it's bad. It's just it's really weird.
It is different for sure.
The final minutes are super strong too, with ELP throwing everything at Takeshita. I think a lot of kicks. There's like his diving splash thing, CR2, which is like the neutralizer Claudio does, but with like the arms tied behind the back. And he believably came super close. Like I thought he was almost going to get it. He also got to kick out of the power drive knee, which is pretty big. And Takeshita was able to close with that spinning Falcon Arrow move he does.
Yeah, that's cool.
That I don't remember the name of. It's something generic Japanese,
Good for Takeshita.
So I thought it was really good. Probably my favorite ELP match that I've seen. Like that's like
he's cool.
I do like him.
Canadian boy.
Definitely my favorite match like of him that I've seen. That's like not the multi-man ladder match or something.
Yep.
And again, Takeshita's proving like he's not one of their homegrown guys, but he is an asset to them if they want him.
He's amazing. He just has good match after good match.
Easily one of my favorite wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, he's great. Cool. I think that's going to wrap up 212, yeah?
Yeah, because SmackDown just happened and I don't care.
Great. So we'll be back next week for 213 for sure. We hope you have a great week. Tell somebody about us. We still don't promote ourselves. If you listen to us, you are in a very exclusive club, so congratulations.
I'm trying to remember. We're working on
Thanks for the listen, the view, etc. Have a great week. See you back here for 213. And until then, everybody, take care.